Hello. We're not playing a game. This is weird.
It's yeah. Welcome to the podcast, which we still don't have a name for, I guess.
I thought you named it the Talking Shed.
Well, that's what I named it, but I don't know if it's canon. So
It's what I named the folder on my computer.
okay, well then I guess that's it. Welcome to the Talking Shed. My
Yeah,
name is Skylar.
The Talking Shed, it's like The Walking Dead, I guess.
Yeah, and like our YouTube channel, The Game Shed.
Yeah.
YouTube.com/The Game Shed. Probably not. Probably not. I
So
don't know if we scored that domain, but
no, I don't know. I don't know about that either. I'm James, and this is Skylar. I guess I'll say that for you.
well, I already said that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I said that's
Okay.
my name.
All right, I missed that.
Or I guess Sky the Magic Guy is what I'm known as on the internet.
That's really cool.
The only people who probably recognize me on the internet have been healed from me on TF2.
Hmm.
Like, oh yes, this boy.
So yeah, usually we have a Let's Play channel, but we've got
And we usually try to make the funnies on it.
we've got 50 subs over there. So
50, that's a lot more than I was expecting.
I'm not gonna be surprised if someone finds this but does not know our main channel.
This is the director's cut, the director's commentary over
Yeah.
the channel.
This
Oh,
is
man.
a new podcast that we've started.
It's gonna be tough to not go for funnies, honestly.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is to relieve the stress of trying to be funny.
I usually just do that by making more jokes.
Oh, I'm not
Honestly.
saying you can't.
Yeah.
I'm just saying you don't have to anymore.
No, I'm relaxing. I got my Dasani water here because
That's cool. And we just made I made some Scooby Doo cookies, I guess. I don't know what they're called, but I thought they were something else that I used to eat a bunch when I was a kid, like the little sugar cookies with the imprints of they're always seasonal. Like there was Christmas themed ones where there'd be trees or Santa or something, and for Halloween there'd be ghosts and jack-o'-lanterns and shit. But these ones had Scooby Doo, and on the box they look just like those, but they're smaller and a bit more flavorless, which makes me a little sad, but that's all right.
I think they're pretty good. But anywho, this is already starting to sound more like an episode.
No.
Why the
It's
fuck
good.
Are we here?
We're just getting into the mood.
we're
We've
warming
never,
up.
huh?
We're warming up.
Yeah, we've never done just a podcast, and it's already quite different from having a game going.
Oh yeah. But so why the fuck are we here? Why?
Okay,
Why,
well,
what's the purpose?
That's
here?
the thing. Why we're here today is to set up the first of two parts of a madness type bracket of the best horror games, since it's October when we're starting.
Spooky, yeah.
Since we're starting this podcast. But
We're doing it
we
for
should
the
also
spooky season.
say immediately here in the first episode that this podcast does not have any set topics or rules. We're gonna be all over the place. I think we're almost always gonna be talking about media of some sort.
I imagine that's what it's gonna be, where we just kind of pour out our opinions on media, like video games, probably mostly music and albums,
Music, movies,
TV
video
shows,
games. Yeah.
movies, the works.
Current or classic, or just whatever the fuck we wanted to do that week.
Something that we like, that we're passionate about, or anything really that we just kind of want to get our points across. That's what I think.
Yeah, that's what
is our goal for this podcast, I guess.
that's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna give each other some homework. Not today, or maybe in the next one. At the end of the next one, we'll do this once a week on Thursdays. I think. I don't know what time. I haven't completely figured it out yet. But yes, so we'll upload once a week, and we'll talk about whatever we're talking about that week. And at the end of next next podcast we will start recommending, or not, we'll start choosing something for the other person to check out,
Yeah.
and we'll come back and talk about it
If
among
one of us knows about something that one to talk about, but the other one doesn't, the
yeah,
other one needs to like look into it, and then they can express their opinion about it.
like you could recommend that I listen to Pink Floyd's The Wall, like you will at some point, because
I will sooner than later. Yeah.
because I've never listened to that album all the way through. So, and I'm sure I'll have recommendations for you as well.
Right. We'll get more into that. Also, I guess last thing, and it's we're doing this because like when we can talk about something, we will go on for quite a bit.
We sure do.
Each one of us has like is able to bring something to the table. I guess.
Yeah,
Like, we are very opinionated assholes. Is what I'm saying.
yeah, very much so. And we've been playing Dark Souls over on the game Shed, and we've wait, spoiler, I guess.
Yeah,
but
you already lost it.
it's okay, no one watches it. And we just realized that we need a place to, because we were having a string of episodes where we weren't trying to fucking be entertaining or anything like that. We were just like podcasting, but it was like on top of a let's play, and like that's totally fine. That's what the series became. But we were like, we should do an actual podcast where we feel more comfortable just talking about shit we want to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
this has
okay.
been like a 5-10 minute.
No, that's cool. This is
intro.
the first
Yeah.
episode. We should explain
That's
what
cool.
we're doing here.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we got a candle on the TV screen because I don't remember if I said that or not. Hopefully, for subsequent episodes, we will have a real candle sitting on the table in front of us.
Yeah, hopefully. We just have it on the TV right now.
So, we will get into today's topic.
Which is, the madness type episode of...
Yeah, we're going to make this a two-parter. So, we've picked out 8 horror games that we've both played.
And actually know about.
Yeah. That we have opinions on and we'll be able to discuss. And
Right. That we'll actually have opinions about.
we're going to try and find the best horror game.
So are you going to go ahead and list all the ones that we have written down here?
I will. I won't say which one's against which until after.
Yeah, until we get into it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was hoping for.
Okay. So the games that we have in question, and like we just tried to pick some popular ones that are like classics or otherwise like were
Or
big
well-known,
big deals,
cemented, you know, have their place
in their in the horror genre.
Yeah.
That we've both played and are familiar with. So we've come up with Silent Hill, the original on PS1. Resident Evil, the remake.
The first one.
Yeah, the remake of the original Resident Evil.
On the GameCube.
Yeah, the one for the GameCube or PS4 remastered, whatever. We've also got Resident Evil 7 in here because we decided not to put the remake of 2 or the or Resident Evil 4.
Right. We can get a bit more into why when we talk more about it. So,
but those are the 2 that we have from Resident Evil. We have Amnesia: The Dark Descent.
Of course.
We have Outlast, the first one.
Yeah. Again, big horror name for lots of people. I'm sure they're nodding with agreement.
Mm-hmm. Five Nights at Freddy's. Just
of course.
Just the first one.
Yeah. Because there's a bunch, but again, also a big name in horror.
Slender, which we agreed is just going to be the 8 pages, right?
Yeah, the original, like, the free download on PC, the thing that, like, kind of got the whole indie horror thing kind of steamrolling in 2012. Because that game was huge. I think it's indisputable to, like, look away from it. Same thing like Five Nights at Freddy's.
Mm-hmm.
And
then... And Doki Doki Literature Club.
which, spoiler, is a psychological horror game.
Yeah.
And I kind of fought my way for that one to
You
get
did.
on here.
I had Until Dawn as
because
one of my
it
options.
also is the most recent, I get quote unquote horror in the genre, so I guess it doesn't have time to be a classic. But I think it's so good that it deserves a spot on here and enough to be talked about. But what I wanted to get into is like, I guess I'm gonna be doing that a lot on the podcast, just blanking on words. Not runner ups, but like honorable mentions. There we go.
Oh, okay. You wanted to mention some?
No, I just wanted to give like honorable mentions because some people are like, "Oh, what the fuck about this game?"
Oh, okay.
Because we just
Go for it. I think we both have some.
Yeah, because well, also some of them we just haven't played or just don't know.
Yeah.
And include but not limited to Alien Isolation.
Well, I haven't played that.
I haven't played that either. Dead Space, haven't.
Same
one,
thing.
One or two, haven't played it. Want to? So I have it on Steam. Just haven't gotten around to it.
I've not played it.
The Evil Within,
Have
same
not
thing.
played it.
I wanted to play it. I got it on Steam. Layers of Fear,
I have not played.
heard mixed things about it. Soma,
We both have played,
but don't think it's like actually like
I don't think
scary or enough of a class to be cemented into horror.
I don't think it belongs on this list. In short, like, I do think it's a good horror game, but not. In the same way we were debating if Doki Doki or Until Dawn should be on here. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like,
It just didn't make the cut.
yeah, it didn't make the cut.
Oh, there you go. Until Dawn. There's honorable mention.
Until Dawn was my honorable mention. I fought for it and just decided that we should put your game.
I'm like, I can see it, but I just wouldn't call it, 100% a horror experience in the same way like I wouldn't call Friday the 13th, like the original movie, a horror experience. It's a slasher. It's more like a slasher flick, and it's an amazing game in its own right. We'll talk about it on its own, but classic horror.
Okay, but let me
Disinterested.
quick on. I would say, for me, it's the same thing with DDLC, but we'll get into why when we talk about it.
Right. Little Nightmares.
No, never played it.
Only saw it recently.
Are
and
you
it looks
looking
pretty
at-
scary?
You looking at a list of?
Yeah, I'm looking at a list, but I'm like picking out the ones that. I
Okay,
guess.
then big thing. PT is not on here,
I was
and
gonna
that's
say
because
PT next. Yeah,
that's because it's not a game.
that's your Mr. Hot Take. Oh, I mean, it's not a hot take because
It's not a hot take. It's not a game.
You're-
It's a playable teaser.
Yeah,
That's what it
it's
stands
not a hot
for.
take because you're right, but it
I
doesn't
don't.
make it any less good.
It was great. First of all, you can't even get it anymore unless you like emulate it.
Which
It
is
was
sad,
it
or
was a
pirate it.
PS4 thing. Like, you can buy a PS4 that has it on it, and it'll probably put you back a shit ton of money. I actually haven't looked into it. It would be cool to have access to playing PT, but it's not on
Yeah.
here because it's like a half hour long.
So
and,
I guess
yeah.
it should be.
and we never played it anyway.
It should be NPT, non-playable teaser.
There you go.
Friday the 13th, I guess.
I don't know why.
Resident Evil 4
Yeah, well,
and 2.
two. Okay, hang on. 4. There's if you ask me, it's one of my favorite games. It doesn't belong on a horror list.
As I scroll down, I'm kind of seeing some stupid shit.
And Resident Evil 2, the original or the remake, for me also don't belong on a horror list. But like,
They're more action.
no. Okay, 2 could be, but we already had 2 Resident Evil games, and no other series has 2 entries on this list. We weren't
Yeah,
gonna
and
fill it
one
with
is
Resident.
probably does the scary a bit better.
Yeah.
Also, if I scroll down in my horror game search, there's Doki Doki right there,
Awesome.
right next to Amnesia, Machine for Pigs.
Okay.
Eternal Darkness. I guess I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's.
Well, the elephant in the room is Silent
it.
Hill 2 and 3. And we did play Silent Hill 2, and in short, I don't think we appreciated it as much as
We probably
literally
should have. Or the rest
literally
of the
everybody
world.
else. So I don't know, I guess we decided not to put it on here because of that. Because for us, it would probably lose to most other things on here. And like we shouldn't put any game at like a disadvantage like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I could enjoy it a lot more if we weren't doing it in the context of a let's play. Silent Hill 3, neither of us have played, and
Yet.
same with Silent
Yet.
Hill 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We might get around to it, but I think this list is solid enough. We're taking like the big kind of names ish in horror. Those are just like mentions of like if anyone's like, hey, what the fuck about this game?
Yeah.
So
Well, fucking apparently, like some people list The Last of Us as a horror game, and
I saw The Walking Dead on there as a horror
okay, yeah,
game,
like
so I was like, and Bloodborne, and like
yeah,
Bloodborne is as like horror-y as Left 4 Dead is. It's
there's
just not.
yeah, it
You fight spooky enemies, but that's it. And I'm not scared doing it.
all right, cool. Well, we introduced ourselves. We said what the fuck we're doing on this
Yeah,
podcast.
we kind of. That's like there's the intro.
and yeah, okay.
We did
So
a
let's get into.
Honorable mentions and all that. Let's get into it.
I randomized these, so these like games are the order that they're in have been randomized, as I just said.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's something you'd redo over if you were writing an essay. Just
Yeah,
let's do that. Sounds
but
like,
I'm not. I'm podcasting.
Talking.
So, our first matchup, we have Outlast versus Slender, the 8 pages.
Okay.
I know.
Well, I mean, no matter what the randomization was gonna be, I was gonna be like, oh boy, here we go.
Well, why? I feel like that's not me for all of these.
Oh well, I mean, you see them, but I feel like I'd be like, okay, this is gonna be tough, or like,
Yeah,
something like
I
that.
do think a couple of these. I think I already have my answer, but we're gonna talk through each of these, and make sure that we talk about all games equally.
Right.
But for this particular matchup, I
Outlast?
truly don't. I think I know what I'm going to choose.
Outlast and Slender the 8 pages.
Slender
Well,
the 8
let's-
pages.
Sl-
Yes.
What the fuck did I just say?
No. You said it right. I just thought you were gonna say the Arrival.
Oh no, I said okay. I was like, I'm like, you confused me. I thought you made me think I said something stupid like Slander the 8 pages or something.
No, you're good.
I'm like, someone just wrote an 8-page essay. I'm like, why you're a piece of shit, Slander.
Okay, so Outlast versus Slender the 8 pages.
Yeah, so I
where do
think-
you even start?
I imagine we're gonna talk about each game.
Yeah, we don't really have a set of like rules to make this like more objective or like, quote objective.
Right. So, I guess let's just do our thoughts on each.
Okay, so let's go with Outlast first.
I was just gonna go with that last first as well. We played it on the channel. It was probably a year and a half ago.
Yes,
maybe-
it was
maybe-
like last March.
Yeah, okay. That's what I was thinking. It was like March. It was like early-ish from like a year ago. So that's all I kind of had to base over it.
This game was
you know what?
huge.
Yeah, it was huge. It was like stupidly huge. Like, people were fucking just going mad about it, and like it was just super iconic too, with it using the night vision thing and hiding under the beds and like seeing the faces. I remember seeing trailers about it too when years and years ago before, when it was new, and I was like, holy shit, this game looks scary. I wouldn't want to fucking play this.
It was definitely like after post Amnesia, like it became like the next Amnesia.
Yeah,
And then we
and-
kind of never got a third one.
And it's still iconic with the whole night vision and green kind of look, 'Cause no other games are really doing that. That's your main camera, I guess.
It is iconic, but is it actually like? What did you think while you were playing it? You weren't a big fan.
Okay,
of
well,
that,
yeah,
huh?
yeah. I was gonna get more into it. I'm just saying, like, I kind of somehow managed to get my way back to all seeing trailers for it, right? And I thought it was honestly a bit creative that it was doing night vision, because, like, movies like Paranormal Activity. I want to say Blair Witch, but I'm like, I
Mhm.
don't remember. There's night vision in that. I'm probably sound like a fucking noob. But yeah, stuff like Paranormal Activity and like other horror movies were doing the whole night vision thing. Shows like Ghost Hunters were doing that. So like I'm honestly surprised it took games this long to do something like that. So like, because you know in like lots of horror games it's just like let's just make everything dark. Everything dark is scary, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And like this way it tells you that like it's dark around you and to be scared already and that you're in it but you can still see. So I guess it's a creative workaround. But when I was playing it, I don't think it really lived up to the hype. Even now, I still don't think it really lives up to the hype that it did. I guess to give my synopsis,
You did get lost a lot.
I was gonna say like, oh my gosh, I'm
Did you
burping.
play? You haven't played this game since we did on the channel.
No.
So
we also did Whistleblower recently.
I wanted to mention when we did
The
Soma on the
Whistleblower.
channel, you got lost a lot and you hated it. And you played it again more recently and you liked it.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's a really great game actually, Soma.
So
But like I hated it on the channel because we got so fucking lost. And honestly, like looking back at the footage, I was like, how the fuck was I like, yeah, let's go up this wall. I'm like, that's the right way to go. But with Outlast though, like, yeah, let's just take.
I was just gonna say you haven't revisited Outlast, so
No,
we
I
don't
haven't.
know if that could happen there too.
Possibly not, but the thing I remember that would probably irk me to this day about Outlast is there are lots of doors that do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
the real fake doors. You know?
Yeah, and okay,
And I kept being like, oh, it's RNG. Oh, this guy was an idiot.
I didn't play Outlast. I watched you play it. We did it. Yeah,
Yeah,
we've been over this.
You were there in spirit.
Yeah, I was.
You played it
I was here next.
vicariously.
I was
Is
here
it
next to you on the couch, and I experienced Outlast. I did not play it. I can't comment on the controls.
The controls were fine.
What
Never had a problem with
what
them.
I'm gonna say is I don't like that type of horror. It's like okay, and what I mean by that, Outlast is like almost exclusively you're gonna get chased around,
That's right. Yeah.
and that's it. Like that's the full extent of it. You're getting chased, and then you enter a new room. You think you're safe for a second, and you're getting chased by someone else immediately.
Or you get into a room and it's actually safe. You have a pause for a minute. You save, and then big pig dude is after you. Hide in a locker, piss yourself a bit, go out, and then rinse, repeat.
Also, the hiding mechanic seemed tedious.
It seemed tedious and it didn't work half the time. I remember like I
Yeah,
couldn't tell
you
I
had
remember I
like the
kept-
locker opened on you multiple times, like when you were in there before
before they got there, and it was always the big dude that went and got me.
yeah, like they find you
Like
which like okay, if they're going for realism, but like if they're going for like a game mechanic that works as it's supposed to,
see, it's fine.
that doesn't work.
See, it's fine that you get like found when you're hiding spot. It does make it more real and make it more tense. But if I like round 2 corners, let's say, and get there way quicker than the big dude chasing after me, I expect he's not gonna find me. But then he'll just be like, "Oh, what's in this locker?" Oh yeah, he will check the lockers too.
Well,
But then that's just like, well, what the fuck then? Why am I hiding?
my argument is it's a game mechanic, so it should work.
Yeah, it would be a little silly if I just hid in front of hid a locker like right in front of him and just like, where the fuck did he go?
Yeah,
Like in most
But
stealth games,
I
where
think-
it's just like, person? No, I must have been the win.
but I think if you hide before they're there,
Yeah, like
Then,
I
like-
said, rounding 2 corners.
yeah, you've done all you can in like
Yeah.
in the
and
what the game allows.
I know it's not up against this game, but something like Amnesia, which we probably compared everything to
when we played it, probably.
when we play any horror game on the channel, it was always like it's cemented in your head. Hide and before you run.
Yes.
Hiding is like it seemed like the opposite in the game. The big dude, I thought his design was pretty scary. I guess. I mean, just having like, I guess. Oh, this game's not here either. Resi 2 with Mr. X chasing you down, like just having some big fucking wall just walking at you. It's scary in the sense that like you have no control. That like
It would be like if Mr. X
It's-
chased you the entire game.
and he was actually able to sprint at you. Yeah, that's true. It got tedious.
That's what I'm saying. Like when we were
rid of the
doing
weight, yeah.
when we were doing Outlast, like it's scary at first that like you're getting chased, and whenever you look behind you, like you're never safe. It like gives you the idea at first, but then like you get used to it. Like once you're used to it, it's not scary anymore.
Yeah,
if
then
there
it's
were
just like, god damn it. Okay, here we go again.
if there were pockets in there where you were safe for like more than 30 seconds at a time, then like it would put you more on edge because like you've been safe for a few minutes.
Well, it's also that there's no chase sequence for a few minutes either.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Well, that's not like the whole game.
If you weren't being chased constantly, then like basically it needed to come down at some points, but it never did.
Yeah.
And that doesn't really allow for the tension to.
Yeah, like getting chased is a scary thing to happen, and like the first few times, it is pretty scary in the game.
But
But
then
it's
like
tense. But yeah, like you said, it's overused and all that.
if it doesn't stop, then you're like, it's about as scary as playing Temple Run.
That's what I was just thinking about that. I was
You
like, yeah, it
can't
just becomes
stop.
Temple Run, where with like different paths you can go down, but it's like actually a dead end, and if you go down them, you die because they catch you. And those are like the doors that don't open.
Yeah, that's supposed to like give you the feeling of panic, I guess, that you're running and then you have to open doors. We can't spend this
just
long
found it-
on like every game. So let's get our final thoughts
Yeah, okay.
for
shit.
Outlast.
I mean, I see a door and I try to go for it, and if it's like not it, I just see it as a cheap fake out, and it just damn well pissed me off. It's like might as well not even be there. I guess that's but yeah, I mean, it's got a cult following. Also, how about the story? Because it is in a psychiatric hospital or hospital
Okay.
type thing. That alone, that environment is pretty terrifying. Like,
I
I kind of want to
agree.
make it a little more ambiguous. It's like I kind of want to build it up a bit more than just like bashing on it. And even the characters, like that doctor with the fucking like, did he have fucking like knife hands?
Traeger.
His butt was showing, his bum was showing.
I think his name was Dr. Traeger.
Something like that. Yeah.
Um,
he was fucking insane. Lots of naked people too. But yeah.
Yeah, there sure were swinging dicks and
I mean,
all.
yeah, it's tough to know what's going on there with the story because
No,
it's
it's
one of
not.
those. Well, for me at least, it was like one of those games where you get as much into it as much as you put in, or you get as much out of it as you put in. I mean.
So like during cutscenes, we weren't really paying that much attention,
No, I can admit.
which just kind of invalidates our opinions as far as the story goes, honestly. But I don't know, I wasn't gonna take it there. Is Outlast like a story game?
Not a story game, but there's like a plot. There's like a story there.
Oh, I know. Like I remember it loosely, but is it praised for its story?
No,
I didn't think it was.
not known for its story. It's known for like it being a tense and scary game. I'd imagine, of where like you're getting chased all the time. But yeah,
As far as the atmosphere, I did think was scary.
I feel like the environment's pretty scary. Like, and on paper, it's pretty much like you watch it for like, a few minutes at a time, or like see trailers for it, and you're like, oh, that looks like a very, very spooky game. Just don't play it all the way through, because then you'll be like,
It'll wear off. No, I'm
then
not.
won't be scared anymore.
I'm not trying to completely shit on Outlast. I just I don't think it's as good as everyone says, and there are games on here that I do think are as good as everyone says.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that, I guess, for Outlast. Let's
Let's move on.
Did you have anything else? No?
No, that's it. I've said all I needed to, I think, with Outlast. And I think I gave it like I did it justice a little better, and then at the end
Mhm.
credits of our playthrough.
Okay.
Whoa!
We've got Slender the 8 pages.
Now Slender the 8 pages. Now it's weird to think about the 8 pages and not the arrival.
Slender
That was what's also on the channel.
Slender the 8 pages. Right off the bat.
Look, can we say the fuck word on the podcast?
Yeah.
Also? Okay.
Have we not?
I don't
I
think
think
so.
we have been. I don't know. Slender the 8 pages. The original 2012 game.
A little indie game.
Okay.
Not little, but
What can you say? Let's just like get this address the elephant in the room. This game is a product of its time.
I want to ask what you mean.
This game is
But-
not effective today.
I disagree.
I disagree.
You disagree with
Yeah,
my
we
disagreement.
disagree with each other.
Oh.
All right, you gotta explain to me why.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
okay, hang on. Let me first.
Okay, go for it. No.
This game did scare me at the time when it came out. I did not grow up on Resident Evil or Silent Hill. I did not grow up on horror games. I did not know they existed.
I didn't
When
either.
Slender came out, the 8 pages, it was the first time I had heard of a horror game. And I remember my friend,
Okay.
Brandon, telling me like it's a horror game, and I was like, "What? Like a horror movie? But it's a game? Like how's that even scary?" Then like downloaded it, and like everyone was too scared to play it. It was scary when it came out. Now, no. You go for it. What do you got for me? Why is it still
I'll
scary?
probably go a little more in depth. I mean, I haven't played any scary games, but I've seen stuff like Resident Evil 5 and just seeing all that gore for the first time when I was a kid, like really fucked with me and like gave me nightmares. I didn't sleep well as a kid, like pretty much ever. So that didn't help. But I remember when this thing was new in 2012. Like I remember it being like it blowing up on YouTube. I remember watching Markiplier.
I watched
play it.
PewDiePie.
I watched a little boy named Captain Sparkles play it as well,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought I enjoyed it. Not gonna lie, the jump scares I think remember got me at the time a bit.
They
I was
definitely
watching
got me.
it. I was watching it on an iPad, and I was just like, you
Okay.
know, I was like scrolling down a bit to be safe in the comments. One of those
Mhm.
things. And then I kind of just turn it on and like I downloaded it because it's free. You can't. It's tough to not just get a free game,
Mm-hmm.
and not need like another like third party launcher. And like I remember, I think I might have booted it up when it was like getting dark. Even maybe my parents were still around, but as soon as I got like the first page and you hear that thunderous drum like ominously, boo, and I was just like, nope, I'm playing this when it's light. Nope, I was such a bitch, and still am. But like, and then I played it more. I played it a good amount for that game at least.
Mhm.
Maybe not as much as some people who would like go to speedrun it or like mod it.
Did you ever get all 8 pages?
No, never got all 8. But like, I definitely as a kid looked at a guide and saw what happened. I knew where they all were. I just never accomplished it because he gets so fucking hard.
Yeah.
But don't take that out of context. And then when you get all 8, he just kills you anyway, which I thought was pretty lame.
That is lame. That's a huge
Not-
thing that's lame about this game.
Not gonna lie, it is pretty lame. But I think it's like the point is that you're
People, yeah.
not really gonna like ever get it.
People made up theories that like, oh, if you go back to the gate where you started, then you'll make it out. But no, there was no real ending to the game.
No. But I played a good amount for like actually being scared by it, and even if right now you had me go and play it, I would probably kind of be pissing myself. I'd probably piss myself when the jump scare happened. Like honestly,
I would not.
even though I played it and I know like I know the game's mechanics, I know how it works, I know where the fucking pages are, I know where my route is, it still gets me. And like,
yeah.
I mean, I just don't. That's all it is. It's just I've shown it. I booted up with new friends, like how you do with Until Dawn. I'm like, you're sitting and you're playing this thing if they don't know about it. And then it gets them when the jump scare happens, like that fucking just the sound, of that fucking piano slam.
Mm-hmm.
That thing is fucking startling no matter how you fucking slam. And like when it makes it turn around, I think as a kid, I was like constantly like afraid. Basically it was made for like my fears as a kid, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like shit that was way taller than me. Don't jive with that. People being behind me. And like when it forces you to turn around, you like, let's face it, in a horror game, you never like want to turn around like on your own merit. If it's like something's behind you, you're just like, fuck that shit.
Okay, and here's where I'm gonna take over here.
Okay.
I have to say at the time, yes, I stand by it was scary at the time. I don't think it would. It doesn't scare me now. And that's for hang on. I'm trying to think of the order to mention this stuff in. I guess I'll say back then when I played it, it was one of those games you gathered around the computer with your friends and like you bet your friends like, I bet you can't play it.
Oh yeah, I bet you can't beat my page count or something.
Or like I bet you're too scared to play it. Like me and my friends were literally like, we said that shit like you're probably too scared to play. You're
probably
Slender,
too much of a bitch, yeah.
To play Slender, and like it was scary at the time. It was like one of the only horror games. Amnesia was out, but like I was for some reason like at that age, I guess, too enthralled with Slender to like think about playing something like Amnesia.
It was also like
it was so simple,
accessible, yeah, because it's like 5 minutes, no commitment, it's free, and the game closes itself when a jump scares you. It's like, okay, I fucked you up. I'm now gonna take my exit,
and it was terrifying. And that was at the time. And when I first played Slender, it took a while to get me to play. I would not play with sound, and I never turned. So I used the arrow keys, but I always walked straight. And I backed up and I walked around, but I never moved the camera.
That's kind of the meta. You never want to hit S though, because then
I hit S, but
you never want to do it when it's like mid to later in the game, because he'll be like kind of like riding on your ass. See, that's the thing. I have a meta with this game, but also like I love how on each odd page that you get, it adds
a new sound.
It adds a new sound
to the
and makes it just even more unnerving and ominous. Even just that bass drum, that fucking contrabass, that alone is like sets a nerve. And by the time you're at fucking 7 pages where it's just like you're just constantly just going in and out, like almost like static of your head, static in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like that alone is like inducing me into panic. Fuck me thinking about that sound now. I remember like I got to like 6 or 7 or something. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't play with the sound and I wouldn't move the camera.
The sound is the thing that makes this game
and
honestly
I think
so scary.
I think that was when I was 14, 15, whenever it came out.
Oh yeah.
And I think I got 6 pages like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the most anyone like out of me and my friends like had gotten.
Right.
But I was playing it like a total bitch way, yeah.
Oh, that's fine. I think playing without sound would also be scary.
Now, here's the thing. Slender Arrival exists.
I was just gonna say, I think the 8 pages mode on that kind of butchers it.
It's a lot less scary.
Oh yeah,
it misses what made it more scary in the original.
It tries to do more effects, and the map is. I get confused on the map layout. I think everyone is at first, and then like after like 1 or 2 playthroughs, or even the first couple videos I've seen, I was able to be like, okay, I got my bear. I've never had to look up a map of the game. I just kind of knew where everything was, which is a good thing, which is a good design.
The 8 pages on Slender the Arrival is an updated version that doesn't work, similar to other games that have been remastered and don't work as well, like Silent Hill 2 and 3.
Oh yeah.
Or so I've heard. but that's not what I was getting at. There's a game in the Slender universe that I do think is much better, and that is Slender: The Arrival, and not the 8 pages part.
Just as a whole, The Arrival.
As a whole, I think Slender: The Arrival is a better game. I think that it, like, the whole Slender franchise got better.
Yeah. So I think
it improved.
I think a big thing to touch on, and what you mean by like,
and
it's a product.
That's still a scarier experience today, Slender: The Arrival, if you ask me.
And I think like what you said about it being a product of its time is because that it's the phenomena of the Slender Man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when that game came out,
that was when no one knew anything about
it.
Yeah,
and then he fucking blew up, and like now there's like fucking DeviantArt fan art and like shipping shit.
A really shitty movie.
And a really awful movie, to like try and bank off of this exact hype off of it.
6 years later,
just 6 years too late, you know. And you know now it's just we know everything about it. Like we just have constantly seen things. You know, there've been other like remakes of the same 8 pages, but in like different maps and using a different engine. There have been like fan art and just a whole bunch of shit. But like, I think what makes it scary, honestly, is it's like lower end graphics.
I agree.
You know,
and the sound. The sound design.
Definitely the sound.
The sound design is lower quality, but it's effective.
But like you turn around and like when you see him, first of all, when you see him at first, you see him far away. All you see is his blank white face and like a figure. So then you immediately seeing just a man just in a figure with no face is a bit unnerving. And then when he gets closer, you can see that he can teleport, and then you're not safe. And then you realize how fucking tall he is. And this is before they made him the stick man. Like, he was slender. He wasn't like fucking twigs, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Or like tentacle models. Like he had the tentacles going on behind him, but I never noticed that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, oh, he's tall, and he's just kind of like a lanky figure, I guess. So
okay.
And it doesn't go overboard with like, it just has one static effect. It doesn't go fuck with your screen a whole bunch like in Slender: The Arrival 8 pages.
Okay. I guess we didn't plan enough to like directly compare and contrast these right now. So I guess we should just ask the question of which one we think is better.
Or which one do we prefer?
Which one is a better horror game? I think we gotta try and be objective, right? If we disagree on anything, because this is how this is gonna work. There's 2 of us. We have to be able to convince someone to adopt our perspective if we can't agree on any of these.
Right.
Which is gonna have to be done through like logical questions.
And reasoning
for this bracket. But if we don't disagree, then I guess it's good. Which is the better horror game, Outlast or Slender? Do you want to count down from 3 and then say, do you have your pick?
Yeah, I have my pick.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, Outlast.
Slender.
Okay, here we go.
I think it was pretty clear that I was picking Slender.
I thought so too.
And I figured you weren't agreeing with it as soon as you said it was a product of its time. I mean, fuck, this is gonna be tough. Because I don't think I've in my time of knowing you, I don't think I've convinced you of like why something I like is like better.
Well, I mean, let's try and do this objectively. Like I just said, if we come to an impasse, which is the scarier game? And we have to be honest.
Scarier? Still Slender.
Okay. Then we
we
have to disagree there then.
Sure, Outlast has its environment of you being, you know, in a mental hospital and the and like I said with the fucking night vision and the fucking creepy dudes. Slender, you're in a forest all on your own. And like again, I've felt way more unnerved and like anxious and fucking sweaty playing Slender than any time I have playing Outlast, even if I play by myself. I can say that with confidence.
I could and I have played Slender alone in the dark. I could not I don't think I could with Outlast. I wouldn't boot up Outlast alone in the dark.
I guess I'm the opposite there. I wouldn't boot up Slender in the dark.
Which holds
I
up
valued
better?
My sleep. I'm gonna sound biased, but I'm gonna say Slender.
Well, if you say Slender, I do think that is strong ass bias.
Well, because
we have Slender the Arrival.
Because my reasoning is I'll still show it to people. I'll still
the original?
I'll still make my friends play it. If I meet someone and I'm like, "You want to have a spoopy time?" Boot up fucking Slender. And it's also quicker if I'm gonna show a friend.
It would. Slender wouldn't cross my mind. Slender crossed my mind while making this list because it has cemented its place as a classic.
I mean, it's crossed my mind because it's just one of the things I'm like, okay, I'm showing my friends this.
Slender the Arrival is what crossed my mind. Can you not agree like that Slender the Arrival is the better game? Like it's improved since its conception.
Well, I haven't played Slender the Arrival in its entirety.
You haven't?
But you say I couldn't?
I asked you haven't, but I guess...
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't played them in its entirety, but I have tried playing it multiple occasions.
You had to stop playing.
To be fair, yes, I did. I had to stop playing because it was fucking with me. But to be fair, not because of Slender, because of the other creatures.
Oh, yeah.
Even in the beginning when it is about Slender, when you're in that house and everything's dark and you're going through tight corridors, and then all of a sudden there's like a storm or some shit, the power goes out or something, you hear the door close. I forgot what fucking happens, but then it got all dark and I was just like, oh, I literally said and thought to myself, oh boy, here we fucking go.
I think Outlast
and I was really tense to go around doors and stuff. So I would say Slender the Arrival is a scarier game because on every area I was tense playing it for the first time.
And most would agree, and mind you, listening, that neither of us are in this boat as of currently. Most would agree that the original Outlast is the high point of Outlast. Like, better than Outlast 2.
And Whistleblower.
And 3 isn't out yet. It's going to come out as far as I know, but it's not out at the time of recording this.
But they still call it the Trinity thing in the box set.
Yeah, that's because they got Whistleblower. But I think Outlast is the better game through and through. I think I've got solid reasons. Let's go back.
I think I'll say it's a better game because it's got more going for it.
Well, even if I've got you changing to my side, I need to restate Slender doesn't have a fucking end.
No, it doesn't. It's
disappointing.
I don't think it really needs for what it is, because half the time most people are gonna die anyway.
I don't think they were expecting it to become what it became,
and
they didn't finish it.
Well, I think because it's more like an arcade kind of thing, where it's just like boot up, see how far you can get, tell your friends how many pages you have, or like something. It's like, I don't know if you want an
sure,
end,
but that's
Slender your rival.
Sure, but that's like a subjective viewpoint you have.
Yeah.
Where Outlast is objectively a finished game.
Yeah, but I think because there are other games that exist that are kind of just arcade that don't really have an end to them. This one just happens to be single player.
I agree.
I don't think I would make any of the friends I've shown it to be like, oh, you have to get all 8. I'm like, are you fucking kidding? They literally just probably shat themselves in my chair, and now like are checking their pulse just to see to monitor their heart rate or something.
You are the first person I've heard refer to it as like an arcade style game.
Well, it's not literally like arcade. I mean, it's arcadey in the sense where it's
I know what you mean.
Pick it up and try it again. Just keep going.
I know what you mean. But
that's how
I don't know if in that way. I don't think it's a finished game, which is like I don't think it's satisfying to get all the 8-page, because any game,
That I
any
agree
game
with.
where you have to, any game that's like that, where your goal is just to like get the perfect run, and the problem is that it's so hard that it keeps you going edit and edit for as long as you can revisit it. When you finally achieve that goal, it's like the ultimate fucking letdown.
That I agree with.
And I just don't think it was fully realized until they did Slender the Arrival.
But what I'll get with you, what I'll like try to like lob over into your court is that the gameplay is better on Slender, and that you're in both games actually you're being chased the whole time, but in Slender it's still scary.
It's
Throughout
scarier.
the whole game.
It's scarier
And
being
Outlast
chased.
is just frustrating and tedious.
No, I agree with that. But I think the overall better made game and better experience overall is Outlast. One of us has to switch over.
Well, it doesn't look like you're switching over.
I don't plan to. Well, you need to fucking actually believe that there's like some objectivity to it if you're gonna switch over.
Well, like I'll agree that Outlast is probably the better game overall.
Okay.
You know, because you get a whole package there. In terms of what is scarier, for me, points to Slender. What has better gameplay and map design? Points to Slender.
So are you okay switching to Outlast as it is the better horror game then?
I guess for the sake of
Okay,
moving
for the
on.
sake of we have to move on. I
For
think
the sake-
I had some solid arguments.
For the sake, I think I did, but like,
I think you did too,
but I think it's a little more subjective. You know, who knows? Maybe
you have to weigh them.
maybe someone will agree with me. My heart into what's scarier will be with Slender, but and just because it's old doesn't mean it's not good. Also, you did get me with Slender the Arrival is the scarier game than Slender.
There's that and the ending thing. Those two are the biggest things for me. Okay,
Yeah, and I'll think
so let's move on.
We'll Outlast will move on to the next round.
Outlast will be, yes, Outlast will move on in the winner's bracket. We'll be quicker with these other 3 brackets. We just have so much shit to say apparently.
Oh, like this is the whole point of the podcast is that we just keep going, you know?
Mhm. It's just, you know, it's going to get late if we're not careful. We got to okay, let's just get on to the next matchup here. Now this one I'm open-minded on.
Okay.
I would say the last one I went in
Okay.
thinking I already knew I would pick Outlast.
The same thing for me with Slender.
Okay.
But I was like, but to be fair,
Let's
it
give
wasn't like, oh, like obviously. I feel like, you know what? We can play with this. Let's see. I'll give Outlast a bum. Let's do it.
Okay, I was gonna say, do we want to like give ratings out of 10 to each game we talk about, or
Nah.
just no? Okay.
Nah.
Cool. Our next matchup is Resident Evil 7 versus Doki Doki Literature Club.
Oh, okay. So I guess we get the two most current games.
Yeah, we
right
do.
next to each other.
We do.
So we get the 2012 game. Was that last 2012?
No.
Fuck.
2013? I think it was 2013.
Look it up.
Amnesia
on
was
Steam.
2010.
Yeah, no, I was just like, yeah, it was 2010. You're right. Well, whatever. Point is, yeah,
We got
get
the
two most
we-
current
yeah.
games now.
Resident Evil 7 and Doki Doki Literature Club. And these two games are so fucking different.
Outlast is in 2013. Oh, it came out on my birthday.
Oh, that's cool.
You know, my birthday, 2013. I turned.
6 years ago.
Fuck, that was 6 years ago. Jesus Christ, I'm old. I turned 16.
Cool.
No, wait. Okay, hold up. Sky, how
You're
old
right.
are you?
No, you're right.
Okay, I'm right. Good. You're doing the math for me.
Yeah, you're good.
For whatever reason,
Let's-
I put my age as like, that's the current year. I was born in 2000.
let's talk about these two games now. Starting with Resident Evil 7. Okay. Initial thoughts. This game is it's a fucking amazing game. Like I didn't do good on it when we did the let's play on our channel at all. I played on easy and I still had a very hard time and had to cut a lot of material out because this was actually the first game that I think I'd ever played through entirely that was a shooter and in first person.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a first for both of those for me.
Yeah.
And I played it with Anza, so of course I was the one who was playing.
Yeah.
And on reflection, like I've gone back to the game, it's a really like it's got to be one of the best horror games in the last like 5 years. That's for easily in the last 5 years.
I keep forgetting what year we're in. Yeah.
Resident Evil 7.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I remember. I know.
Oh,
what
you
we're
forget
talking
what
about.
year it is.
I said what year it is. Yeah, I'm like 5 years. Fuck. Yeah, probably within the decade, honestly.
Yeah. It's real fucking strong, and my only real complaint is the last third of it, I would say. Which is a pretty big chunk of a game. Unfortunately. But like if you were gonna say it's like a 3-act structure of a game, then like the first two are better than like if it maintained that, it might be like the best game of the last 10 years or the best horror game.
Yeah, or one of the best Resident Evils I
think
to date.
Absolutely, it probably would take like if it stayed on that level, it might be my second favorite.
Like as a Resident Evil game, it's probably one of the best ones.
Oh
the
yeah,
series.
It's definitely it's at least top 3 or 4 for most.
You know what? It's funny, and when I saw it was coming out, or I remember when it was like starting to grow too. When GameStop was putting all that shit there.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know anything Resident Evil. No,
same.
The only thing that I knew was Resident Evil was watching my friend play like earlier, like I said, Resident Evil 5.
Mm-hmm.
It was like one of the final fights with like Chris versus Wesker or something, and there was lots of gore and shit. And I was just like, ugh. And I was like, okay, it's one of the, and also the movies, I guess.
Yeah.
So like honestly, the movies in Resi 5 are pretty similar, and then it's like all about those like that fucking action and like it's gore.
I didn't play Resi. I haven't played Resi 5 at this time, and I haven't ever seen any of the movies.
And then when I saw like the opening parts for Resi 7, I was fucking blown away. Because this is a fucking horror game.
Because the beginning of Resident Evil 7 is the fucking strongest part. I've seen it so many times, I'm sick of it. But like the first house when you're with
the house is just like so rotted over. It's literally like the perfect like
the guest
house.
The guest house that you start in. I guess not like, it's right at the beginning, but you don't technically start
but just
in
like spoilers, I guess. Like,
well, spoilers for every game we're talking about.
Yeah, okay, yeah. When Mia's turning on you and shit, her crawling up the stairs easily, like the highest horror point of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it didn't stop there. It was the whole fucking ride. It was like literally that whole first part was basically like PT for me, I guess.
Yeah,
and her cutting off your hand, I thought was fucking brutal.
It does look a little weird if you have the VR headset on.
Like now, I guess. With
but
all
that's
that
something to talk about.
Yeah, no, we're gonna get there. Don't you worry.
Okay.
And like I don't know, it's weird because like I looked at it. I watched Markiplier play all the way through it too. I watched the Grumps play the first few parts of it.
Mm-hmm.
Then stop. And I just thought like, damn, that was a big game. Like even when you get out of the house, I'm like, there's fucking more. Like what? And like not having any knowledge of Resident Evil, I was like, damn, this is a huge, and it was just a fucking great game. It blew me away, and I recommended that you and Ozza play it on the channel
Yeah.
because I thought like will be an easy game, not easy game to play, but it's like easy enough. I mean, also the mold, those enemies, they're horrifying. No way to slice it.
Yeah, I'm not.
I mean, the
I'm
design.
like preaching to the choir here, but like, it is after playing other Resident Evil games, it is disappointing that there's like no variety.
Exactly. Well, yeah, I was gonna get to that, but like, I mean, when you first see one,
But yeah, they're
when you first see one,
they're
it's just
not-
like, holy shit.
they're not pleasant. They're not.
You know, it's pretty similar to the regenerators in
Mhm.
RE4.
I know what you mean.
I mean, they just kind of look and kind of like have that same like posture, I guess. But yeah, there's no varieties other than like, oh, this one crawls on all fours.
Well,
this one's spiky or some shit. I don't fucking remember.
for negatives, like when I'm saying like the last thirds, kind of like went downhill for me. I'm saying like, I think after you have the fight with the mom, like
Right.
as the spider monster.
Oh yeah, that's fucking disgusting. Fighting with the
After
mom.
that, it starts to go downhill. Like
Yeah.
you have the whole like Saw type section with the brother, and that's a step down from what it was up until that point. But it's not like bad. It's not
Yeah.
it's not a part that I dread, but it's not as good as it was up until that point.
Yeah.
After the brother, it really goes downhill for me because actually after you get the serum and you have to choose who to save there, the last like hour and a half after that is like the reason I don't replay Resident Evil 7 like as
Yeah, because that choice is pretty useless.
no, that's not what I mean.
Well, it's also
it's the
that
things
too.
that follow that. The choice is pretty useless, but what I mean is like I played the shit out of Resident Evil 2 Remake and the shit out of Resident Evil 4. The reason I did like 7 didn't get the same treatment, even though I think it's an amazing game, is because after that choice you have the boat section. You have the boat section,
Boat.
and then there's a flashback, and you're still on the boat, and it takes way too long, and then you end up in some mines, and that's not good either.
Yeah,
And
it's
it
just mold
really
after
like
mold after mold in the mines.
it really feels like it should have wrapped up shortly after
Right.
you get the serum and you get
Now-
out of the house, and you like fight the big boss dad. Like that feels like kind of like it has like some finality to it, but
when you fight Gram too, when she's like the whole evil that's like causing it.
that's fine. But that's like the very end.
Yeah,
Like
when you
there's some fat they could have trimmed.
when you see like, I don't know, like when it goes into like how this whole innocent family just ended up getting corrupted,
Yeah.
and like when you fight that huge fucking like thing, I don't know, I thought that was really cool and like pretty Resident Evil. Like also with the whole, you know, when the dad's all big and has the fucking eyes all over, I'm like, okay, yeah, here we go with the whole goriness. But
Mhm.
like, what I think is like really fascinating, I guess, is now I have context, knowing the other Resident Evil games, like the franchise as a whole.
knowing that everything has eyes on them.
Well, yeah, that too. I mean, that's like the, I guess, the tropes of Resident Evil games.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's cool to see like what it does similarly
Yeah, but
and
you
what
also
it does different and changes.
you also realize how different of a Resident Evil game it is after you play the
from
others.
the other ones. I mean, that's why it's like it's such its own gem, and it might be like the best place to start if you want to get into Resident Evil.
Yeah, it's where I started.
It's where I started as well. You know,
Mhm.
so I guess that's my thing there. But like, what it does different, I guess, first person immediately.
Yeah.
Like all the other ones are third person, kind of like over the shoulder.
Or
And I
you
think-
know the classic
Yeah, or tank controls. Yeah.
with the,
Or like the fixed camera.
fixed cameras. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's all third person. So like seeing other first person Resident Evil like immediately takes the horror to your face. So I'm surprised they're barely now doing it, which also means it translates beautifully into VR.
That okay? Yes, you transitioned that nicely
Transition.
because
I'm all about that.
this game transcends fucking what VR was. At least if you.
Oh yeah, this is like the definitive way to play the game.
It is. After putting on that headset and playing the game, like, unless unless you're like alone and scared, there's no reason to play this game. If you have access to playing Resident Evil 7 in VR, it is the definitive way to play the game.
Yeah, it just feels just so right to do. And also, it was my first ever experience in VR. And in the field, I was just like, what the fuck? Whoa. And then like, also it was a bit of an adjustment to like learn to aim with the gun because you have to do it with your face.
Which I was better at.
Which I wasn't. It was a bit, bit of a learning curve, I guess. A small one, but still one nonetheless. And like, I don't know, I was scared a good amount. Like, when I saw my first fucking mold, I was like fucking quivering in my seat. I'm like trying to like I'm becoming a turtle, like trying to just like my neck's like shrinking up right now talking about it. I was freaking out because it's just like you actually see, or like kind of like your brain pictures like a physical figure coming after you.
It's very effective. That said, it is very glitchy.
Yeah, but that's just VR, I think, right now.
Yeah, but like you can't just discount it like that.
I kind of
like think about for example, almost anything you examine in the game, like literally like I don't know what it's called, like when you press triangle to open your your menu
inventory.
No, yeah, like your inventory will get stuck in walls.
Oh yeah, or it won't be like around. Yeah, but I guess
quite often
that's the engine. I mean, you kind of have to write that off because VR's an upcoming thing that hasn't been like fully tweaked out yet. Yeah, it's pretty glitchy, and also personally, like I get a bit nauseous playing it for a bit too long, especially with the game like RE7, where it's like it's supposed to be gross too. I couldn't really play it for very long, but you had no problem with it.
I'm still not willing to write off all those glitches because I've played VR games that are smoother.
Well, I was behind the seat and impatient. And let me fucking tell you, RE7
did not
seem like such a polished masterpiece compared to that.
I definitely did not list impatient. To be fair, I didn't list anything
for a reason.
But Rick and Morty Virtual Reality had much less trouble. I'd say, like, the trouble that I had with that game was that I was playing in a room that was too small for it.
Yeah, but that's we can get more and more into like VR glitches. Just we'll touch on that like it's amazing in VR. Probably one of the best games to play.
Yeah, that's what I want to get across. I'm just saying it's not.
Yeah,
it's not perfect.
We can talk about how glitchy just VR is later.
But
also, I had other things that like, yeah, when you think about like the main house, like when you meet the family, you can think about how much it's like one of the older Resident Evil games where you're in a residence and like there are a whole bunch of locked doors and you find different weird little puzzles.
Yeah, at the
that
end
like
of
unlock other parts.
Yeah.
Like they even have the dummy shotgun that's weighed just like in RE1.
Yeah.
And like they have like the fine little the little fucking heartbeat meter as your watch.
In ways, it is definitely a tribute to all of the old Resident Evil games that everyone missed and wanted back after the string of action.
Yeah,
games.
I could probably make a list of like what it does.
It just made it like hyper realistic. There's that word.
Even
and put it in first person and you know what else they did? I just want to make sure I get this out there. Like, it's the only Resident Evil game with a story that you can really take seriously.
Yeah, because it actually
aside from Resident Evil 2 Remake also.
Well, it's also got like really good like characters too.
Except
they're just
for
also hilarious when you like in the dinner scene.
That's the enemies are the Baker family. Those are some good fucking villains to have.
Yeah, like literally even I was just about to say the dad is so much like Mr. X, and that he'll fucking chase you down relentlessly and even bust his ass through walls like the Kool-Aid Man.
Ethan himself is not interesting, but
yeah, I was just gonna say, I'm like, I don't know why we got like a fucking nobody Ethan.
He's like a blank slate.
Yeah, I guess it's just like, oh, we're giving you guys
a vehicle,
the everyday man, I guess, like the average
everyman.
Joe.
Yeah.
So we just throw him in here, but then he just becomes like, I guess, a mini Chris in that, like, when we play as Mia, when we're like, when we see him on the outside, we realize like how capable he was.
Mm-hmm.
I guess so. It kind of like just trips over itself when it tries to like give you Ethan. I don't know. I just wish we were playing as someone else in the franchise. You do meet like a fucking skinny Chris Redfield at the end.
Yeah. Which
and then it was neat to see the helicopter.
I don't know
with,
if it's
the anti-umbrella logo on it, where I was just like, oh yeah, that's the thing about this franchise.
I've seen that. It's unclear if that's actually Chris Redfield or another Redfield.
Well, he said I'm Chris.
No, he said Redfield. He did the first name wasn't said.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought he said his name was Chris.
No. It says God, what is it? I want to say like Agent Redfield, but agent's not the word. Whatever he is. Either way, I guess that's sort of off topic, but it's like debated about, was that Chris or was that someone else, some other Redfield in the family? You're looking something up.
I'm trying to look it up.
It's debated about.
And that's really fascinating for me, honestly.
It's debated about, and it also makes this game's like, it's like a surprise prequel, I guess, because you don't
it's, I guess, to wrap it up, it's fucking,
you don't think about it, but this game takes place like not in modern day.
It's
I don't know when it takes place.
It's grotesque. It does horror very right. It doesn't necessarily like follow in the footsteps of its ancestors, but it kind of does it in a different way, where like I'm really excited and optimistic for the next like hopefully trilogy of Resident Evil games.
Mm-hmm.
So there's my closing thoughts on it.
Okay. DDLC, Doki Doki Literature Club.
You spent a good minute talking about RE7. Wait, hold on. Last thing.
Who's that? It's Chris Redfield.
No, he just says Redfield.
Yeah, he does.
Well, shit.
And it's debated about if it's Chris or not.
I swear to God, I thought he said. I guess
Chris.
I was like that guy that you heard. I was like, so I'm gonna be like, oh, it's Chris.
Uh-huh.
No, it's not. That he's fucking. He's a skinny boy. He's a milk boy.
I don't know, because like, I guess there are like high res images of Chris, but I don't know. Is he wearing a mask in that or
No?
Okay. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I know Leon's face a lot better. I played Resident Evil 4
same here, yeah.
and 2.
Leon's
and I never
my
played
favorite character also.
And I never played as Chris in Resident Evil 1. And I haven't played 5.
It's sad that that's all that Chris is in.
Okay,
he's like the big character.
Or
6.
We'll leave
also.
that there. Okay.
I said that. I did the same number. Okay.
We'll try and be like quicker on the rest of these. We got DDLC.
Doki Doki Literature Club.
This is a game that like blew our minds when it came out.
First of all, viewer discretion is advised. This game is not suitable for children or anyone with what the fuck's the first message? Literally, when you boot it up, it's like not suitable for children. Do not play if you
suffer from like
depression
or like mental health. If your mental health is like unstable. I don't know the exact words, but that's
It gives you a warning, and like honestly, I saw like new and like trending on Steam when it was coming out. Honestly, recently in context of the other games, and I was just like, okay, whatever. Steam's like throwing me more hentai shit. which isn't really uncommon, honestly, in my Steam feed.
Uh-huh.
I just thought nothing of it. I was like, Doki Doki. I feel like I've heard that somewhere before. And then, like, I don't know, was it you or something or other made me, like, double check the tags on it, and it said psychological horror.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I looked through the reviews, and all of them were saying, just play the game. Just play it. It fucks with you. And I was just like, oh, bet.
Well,
and then my interest was piqued. Because you see a game.
First thing we did was watch PewDiePie.
That's right. But, like, you see a game with those anime girls on it. Fucking just pink and purple and green and shit. Like, with fucking polka dots. And it sounds all happy when you turn it on, too. How can that be a horror game?
Yeah. Actually, the first thing I saw was the grumps. And, like, all I knew was, like, oh, there was something about the game. And then me and you one night, we just watched PewDiePie play until the event.
Until the advent, yes. So, which was like, I don't know, I think there's like 5 acts in this. I don't
know.
I'm not, I don't well enough anymore, but like, when it immediately, like, kind of, it fucking just turns your whole world upside down. It gives you, like, little hints and Easter eggs about things that are a bit wrong. And then when that happens, then the whole game just goes nuts and will be relentless with fucking with you.
Wait. That I kind of disagree. And not to its detriment.
Disagree how?
I don't think it goes. Okay, so let me say, I think the game, for one thing, is extremely well written.
Yes,
it's extremely well executed,
especially from a small team.
It's not. It doesn't try and keep you on the edge of your seat. Like, you will sit there for 2 to 3 hours playing a dating sim where you read poems.
You just keep reading about, like, girls and shit, and like you're a thirsty boy.
You read
that
poems.
just likes anime, and you're like, oh, I guess I'll just take whichever girl sticks.
Yeah, you like, read their poems and you try and pick one out, and, like, that's what it is for 2 or 3 hours. Like, it doesn't try too hard to, like, to intrigue you. Like, you really wait for it.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, like, the crazy thing, I guess, is by the time you're done with it, all the characters and all the girls and their personalities, they fucking resonate with you. Like, you'll remember, and you can kind of, like, know what each girl's attitude is like, because they actually, like, kind of have a personality.
Yeah.
You know?
Since we did say spoilers for every game, of course.
Yeah, we're gonna get to it.
So,
eventually.
What I was saying is, you said after the event, of course, Sayori suicide, which happens about halfway through the game, if I remember correctly. You said that's when it goes relentless and it just fucks with you from then on out, and it's like, it's just fucking crazy. And that's where hang on
the way, but
and that's where I disagree, but it's a good thing. I think that it was still crafted subtly enough. Like, it wasn't constant. It felt like days were normal for, like, half the time still. Like, I remember we thought, like, oh, everything's gonna break down now, and then, like, there would just be little glitchy things that would keep you on edge.
Right, yeah.
Like, but it didn't go all out. It wasn't relentless. It was still subtle and careful.
Right, I guess, like, what I meant,
it kept you just being like, I'm not safe now. Like,
yeah, well, because, like, the game tries to be like, you didn't see that. Like, it tries to play it off, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, like, it kind of ramps up to, like, it kind of fucks with you more, like, where it's, like, arguing and Monica's, like, glitching and everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's I guess what I meant. It doesn't, like, go heavy, like, on like, balls to the wall, but it will, like, it gets crazy. It gets a bit crazy.
Yeah.
You know? And, like, it's crazy. Like, I guess that's the word, subtlety, with this game, because, like, even in the poems, you can see, like, what each girl is, like, struggling with.
Mm-hmm.
that you can see way before anything fucky with the game ever happens.
Yeah.
And it's
Very,
it's honestly,
very subtly.
It's honestly like kind of genius the way like it's all like played out.
It's
It
really
is
really well written.
it really is played out like so is paced out so well.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe in the first part there's just a bit of fluff when it comes to like reading that
Okay, well,
might not hook the reader as much.
only on repeat playthroughs, I would say.
Okay.
This is a game where repeat playthroughs I also struggle with because, well, it is so effective that first time, and when you're like showing someone else for the first time, it's definitely like it doesn't change that it's a visual novel when you go back and play it again.
But
You still like to get to the more memorable parts of it, you do have to play through 2-3 hours of a dating sim.
right. But that said, no two playthroughs are alike or 100% the same.
That too.
There's some randomness sprinkled in there. You could do different routes with other girls.
Some things only
There-
happen in some playthroughs.
There is, and there is some replay. There's some replayability there. It's more or less you're gonna go to the same ending. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna get to the same path, but there will be some different things. Hell, like even when I finally played it for myself, I remember when you were in New York, I somehow like I predicted when a fucking jump scare was gonna happen at me, and like
I
didn't-
remember.
you didn't know what like was gonna happen. Neither of us had seen it because you also have seen Jacksepticeye play it.
Yeah.
I watched PewDiePie play it all the way through, and like it was just like, oh, black screen, okay, Snapchat time, and then it popped out at me, and I actually got a reaction out of it, even still recording.
Oh, yeah. And dude, one of the most like terrifying things in the game, after the suicide, like in the latter half of the game, are like some of the days it would ask you at the end, like, you've unlocked a special poem.
Yeah, and then you just
Would you like to read it? And like they're not presented on the pretty paper like everything else in the game. It's just like a black screen with like a note,
Really?
and there's like blood on it half the time, and it's like
scribbled
scribbled
like,
handwriting.
writings, and like,
Those
you hear,
are
like
so fucking eerie.
Do you hear like muffled like deep voices like
It's really effective.
like it's really Silent Hill like the way like those poems are. But dude, not gonna lie, I'm thinking about some of like the really creepy things that happen in the game, and I'm getting chills from it now.
It's
Like it really had me on edge on all those parts, and then like when it would come back to the normal dating sim, it just pulls you back out of it, and it's just like you only left with the feeling, what the fuck?
it's terrifying for your first playthrough.
So
And it's like it's shocking and terrifying, and like also like you get the rush from it. Like I remember I couldn't sleep after after Sayori that night.
because it's also in
we
a
saw
graphic way, and
Yeah.
it has weight to it, and even the character is like, oh, I could have done something different. I could have done. And it's like it's real, you know. It bases it all in reality.
yeah, like technically there's nothing, I don't know, scary about that. It's just tragic.
Yeah, well, I mean, if we're gonna get all philosophical,
Like no, it sticks with you because it's, I don't know. Like
what's really tragic about it is that the game, like right after, will like constantly be like, oh, you could have done something better if only like you went back on one of your saves and loaded one of the game or like one of their files, and even if you do that before the game restarts, you picked a different option, she kills herself anyway. Like there's literally nothing you can do, and then it'll end up resetting, and then all your save files is gone. So it's just it's just meaningless.
yeah.
Which is also a horrifying feeling.
I agree. I was going for something a little different, but I agree with what your point is. I was just saying that it's like, because a lot of things are like that with me. Like I've said at one point in some series that we did, that like it's like the tragic shit really it's like not scary per se. Like it's a sad story, but like in the context of horror, it really like cuts deep.
You really feel the weight. Yeah, I know what you're.
Yeah,
I know
and
what
it's
you're
almost like
saying.
traumatic,
Yeah.
like more than anything.
Well, like like things like PTSD is can be is used a lot in horror.
Mm-hmm.
Look at there's a whole bunch of horror media is based around like different psychology and stuff like PTSD based. So
Mm-hmm.
I was just gonna say one of like the things I was thinking about that was like a really tense moment for me was when Yuri pulls you in the closet with her fucking eyes and just staring at you, and the only thing you hear is
The breathing?
and a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
And that immediately going from like the happy like piano music and oh fuck, I'm gonna sneeze. Fuck. And piano and like flute music and like C major into that. Probably the two like worst, 2 out of the 3 worst sounds in the world. The third one being me on the toilet after all this Taco Bell.
Mm-hmm.
Like that I remember I was just like, okay, when's this gonna fucking end?
Just like her eyes shifting around,
Yeah, just like looking around, like really short,
like real,
movements.
like more realistic looking than the rest of the art in the game.
Yeah,
When it breaks from the like anime, like visual novel style, it's really effective.
and the characters actually animate like with Natsuki,
uh-huh.
like Natsuki with her like static like eyes and mouth going.
Uh-huh. All right.
I mean, let's just say
I think we just both felt we talked about it.
like, well, that's also like there's a lot to talk about this game because also the music is great.
There is a lot.
And
fuck, when we were
it's also free. It's free. Go play it right now.
Oh yeah, it is, huh?
100% free. Honestly, I don't say this often, but I would totally like pay for it, and that's why I got the keychain on the store. I was like $15 for a keychain. Fucking absolutely, like I'll gladly support this team in anything they want to do. If they're gonna give you more stuff like this.
Okay.
But yeah, we talked about it. It's just it totally 100% like subverts your expectations
So
and does so beautifully.
Let's just ask this before we vote this time. Which is a scarier game?
Fuck.
Because here's the thing. I went into this unsure, and I'm leaving unsure.
Well, that means I have like a fighting chance.
Okay, so
Sounds like-
you have your vote.
I probably know where I'm leaning, but with with that question, that's a bit rough to think which one is scarier. Because it's 2 different types of horror.
It is,
I guess.
but that was the point of this bracket.
I think.
What do you feel more terrified playing? I have to say DDLC.
I would say DDLC as well.
What actually made me nervous and what couldn't I sleep after? It was DDLC.
Literally right now, I'm thinking about that Yuri scene and the Sayori poem that will bring up the Happy Thoughts poem. That shit, the Happy Thoughts.
Oh yeah, because it'll put
thoughts.
files in your computer.
Yeah, no, fuck with your computer. Like that too. Literally, if I thought I have to play that tonight alone in my room, right now immediately fills me with so much dread.
That's weird. Okay. Because at the same time, I could play either of these. But that's because I've gotten used to it. Similar to Until Dawn, which did scare me the first time I played it. Because I didn't know what was going to happen yet. Similar to that, DDLC eventually did become a comforting game for me.
Yeah, but I just don't want to hear that, those unsettling sounds when it gets, stupidly quiet. And also that, I don't know, it just has some, the breathing and the heartbeats, but there's also, some, really low, bassy, crunchy, talking or, murmuring. That's just so unsettling. And like
I think
There's
it's
some-
because it's psychological. Like,
there are some parts in like the game too that are like weirdly like they don't feel right. I don't know. Like when you're alone, like it's that day when you're alone with Yuri right before Sayori kills herself.
mm-hmm.
Like I don't know why, but like when I think back, I'm like that just doesn't feel normal for me.
Or Natsuki.
Even that
but
day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were with Yuri.
Oh yeah, or like even parts when it's supposed to be quiet, there's like a feeling of uneasiness and like impending dread happening. Or like that's there in the scene, and you don't know where it's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's what I get out of it. You can that's
Okay.
totally subjective.
So I think we should vote.
Yeah,
And like, I just need to say first, like when we were talking about Resident Evil 7, I was like, yeah, there's no way DDLC will win. And then when we were talking about DDLC, I was like, shit.
shit.
Like I definitely felt like both of these by the end of like talking it through, I was just like, this is like a serious contender. Like,
Yeah, because we always
and
remember
when I think back to like how I felt the first time I played either of these games, I was with someone both times. Like I was with you for Doki Doki, and I was with Anza for Resident Evil 7. I was not in VR for Resident Evil 7 the first time, but I don't know. It felt like a traditional kind of spook comparatively, for sure.
yeah, because you actually have like monsters and creatures, and here it's just purely gets into your head and makes
It's
you
really
paranoid.
creative.
It makes you paranoid, and like keeps your guard up. Cause like you can it's easy to just remember like the title screen and the song and Monica's song and just be like, oh yeah, Monica's adorable. She's a cutie. She wouldn't hurt anyone.
And there's like a lot to her character that we're not going to go into. We really need to move on.
Right. We can spend a whole podcast
we
doing this,
we know,
honestly.
we know, and like anyone who's played the game knows. There's a lot that the game has to say about mental health among like just plenty
Among
of. There's a
other
lot
things.
to it. There's a lot to it.
It goes deep.
So let's vote. You all good?
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm good.
3, 2, 1.
Doki Doki Literature
DDLC.
Club.
I surprised myself. We're moving DDLC
Forward here.
which like if anyone saw this, that would probably disappoint a good amount of people.
Yeah, but or if they haven't played it,
But they've heard our reasoning.
they should probably go play it. I mean, I'm glad that you ended up convincing yourself.
Well, I was taken back I was really taken back to like what I was feeling as we were watching it. Like I wasn't even playing it. And then after Sayori's suicide, which is what like I couldn't sleep that night after that. I'm serious. Like
Me neither.
And
I was right there with you, but the difference was I had to watch it.
I
the
couldn't
rest of
finish it.
and I messaged you. I was like, I can't. I have to bitch out. And you're like, no, don't do it.
I couldn't
And I didn't.
I couldn't finish it until the next day, like when the sun was out. Like, and I was genuinely tense. Like I didn't want to look at the screen. I wasn't playing it myself even. Like, I just remember once that happened, I was genuinely tense for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
And same here.
We've
Same
decided to
here.
move it on, which means it will be talked about again. So let's
Which we can easily do.
let's just keep going. We have Amnesia versus the Resident Evil remake.
We're doing this whole bracket tonight.
We're doing half of this tonight.
Oh, in other words, okay, I see. Well, I need to piss.
And I just cut that, so it's not that.
We're back.
You guys didn't miss anything.
We had a short intermission. Me. I have a cookie.
Yeah.
I went pee. Got some water. I'm refreshed. Good to go.
We're jumping into it with
I mean, you probably put in all the sponsors we have, right?
totally. We're jumping into Amnesia: The Dark Descent and Resident Evil remake.
Oh boy.
And we're
Two
gonna,
legends.
that's absolutely true.
two legends in games against each other. Actually, we've been getting this is you've been having like some pretty good
I don't-
lineups here. Actually,
I don't think I know where I stand on this.
we had the
Just-
two.
I'll say that right now.
We had the two. Me neither. We had the two more recent ones, and now we have the two legendary ones. So
Yeah.
funny how that works.
Okay, so Amnesia: The Dark Descent. When I got around to this game, actually playing it all the way through, it was with Anza when she came with me to New York at the end of 2017, right after we watched DDLC.
You guys just jump right into Amnesia.
Yeah. And God, it's like a fucking broken record at this point, but I think Amnesia is, at least when I played it at that time, I was like really surprised because I never got onto the Amnesia bandwagon when it was popular.
Me neither.
And it was fucking solid.
Oh, the game is solid.
Yeah. Like this was the game that's like Slender came out 2 years after this game. So I was expecting something of that quality at the end of the day. I
Oh,
think.
right, and it still looks good, you know.
It does. It looks good for what it is.
Well,
Yeah.
like if you pull up Amnesia and you say this game came out in 2010, I'd be like, shut up. We'll say it would come out like, okay, maybe not 2015, maybe like 2013.
I don't know.
I just remembered that Until Dawn is 2015. I'm like, right, and that game is that. It's Matt Face the game.
No, Amnesia it really held up in every way. Like I liked the puzzles in it, which like half of them were just stacking shit, but that was cool. Like I don't know. Amnesia's kind of like where that became a mechanic for a lot of for like horror at least. It's like you'd stack boxes or stack fucking whatever you could find to advance at some areas. And it became a meme, like with all the custom stories people used to make, which I never watched back in the day. I just know they exist. But there's so much to Amnesia that I wasn't expecting to get out of it, especially I guess like 7 years later at the time. Or even today.
Right.
The game holds up better than it has any right to, I think. Or at least compared to my expectations going in.
Right. I don't really know where I stand on this either.
Honestly, it's truly scary.
Like
You will panic if it's your first time playing it.
I will admit though, I don't really have much of an attachment to Amnesia because I never watched PewDiePie play or anything, or when
Neither did I.
or when the game got crazy, like the bandwagon, like you said.
No, yeah.
But
I wasn't part of that.
I've also never played it in its entirety. I played parts of it,
I thought you did, but
no, not in its
okay.
entirety. Yeah, the only times that I played Amnesia was with you on here.
Okay.
And that's only where I've seen it as well.
We weren't exactly allowing it to do its job when me and you were playing it.
No, exactly. So, I mean, I kind of had the gist of that game.
Damn. All right. Then I have to really talk it up here.
Oh, I mean, like, well, what I'll say is like, it kind of sets the bar for me, honestly.
That's a big deal.
Horror. That's like, because it's like with controls, they're just so intuitive. Of like, it's the exact same as Soma. I think it's the same as Outlast to a degree, and also its mechanics. When the monster is just around, I'm just like, okay, go into a corner, then look down, and then he just will fuck off. You know.
There's
And,
a lot of fun to it.
And like, I remember when the monster was let loose, and then randomly I'd be down a hallway. And all of a sudden you just hear, and then like the music starts up and your screen starts shaking. It's just like shit. Here we go. So it was like being chased around and in Outlast, but it made it sparse and actually like a big event.
Thank you. Okay. What separates Amnesia from Outlast is that it didn't overuse that mechanic like at all. You were actually safe for most of Amnesia, but you didn't feel like you were.
Right, and it's actually got like really good mechanics that help cement like you don't feel safe. Kind of like in SCP Containment Breach,
which I haven't played.
I haven't played either. I've just
Or
seen
seen
it around. I've just seen bits and pieces of it. Never seen its entirety. But like how you have to with using light. Like if you're in the darkness, it'll fuck up your sanity, your health. I think at some point. But also you can't look at the monster because then it'll degrade your sanity even further. Which also helps that it kind of makes the monster a bit more obscure. You don't really exactly know what it looks like. And when you're just playing the game, everyone knows exactly what he looks like now. But when you have to obscure him because, like, oh, I can't look at him because it's going to fuck with my screen, it makes more horror for me personally for not knowing 100% what is chasing me.
I could be wrong, but to the best of my knowledge, this was the first game. It's definitely one of the first, if it's not the first, where it's like a survival horror game that you can't fight back. And that's become very popular with survival horror games. But up until that point, we had Silent Hill, we had Resident Evil, we had Doom. And at the beginning of Amnesia, it tells you this is not a game where you can fight back. You have to hide and not look at the monster.
Or run.
You have to run or hide. And that's become a fucking trope and a half. But as far as I know, Amnesia like kind of kickstarted that whole trend.
You know what? I probably will have to side with you.
We don't know if it's actually the first.
Probably, because even like survival horror games, even survival horror games where you can't fight back are pretty pretty rare now.
I don't know.
Outlast, Soma.
I don't know. I can't. Yeah. Okay. If we're going off survival horror, I don't know the list I've got here. Silent Hill and Resident Evil are the best examples of survival horror. They were the kingpins of the genre when it came to games, and you fight back in those.
Outlast to this day, Amnesia to this day still holds up.
It really
still
does
hold up in that like it will be scary no matter what context. But to be fair though, it just doesn't really affect me a whole lot. Like I probably didn't feel as tense as I probably would if I played it on my own.
Yeah. Which just kind of sucks. There's no like we can't logic around that. It kind of sucks. But it scared the shit out of me and Ansa. She wouldn't fucking play it at all.
I was tense and like there was like a part where you were kind of like in a labyrinth part where you're like more underground.
When you and I played it, it was me playing. I'd already played it a couple times. I was not being scared. I'm pretty sure we were just having a talk about whatever the fuck we talk about, like just making jokes. Like it wasn't a tense environment. We weren't letting the game scare us.
Well, also at one point I remember I was playing like on my own a few times to get the hang of it or just do whatever.
With me?
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't remember when. I don't remember like what the context was. You're just probably like, here, just play it. Go nuts. But I mean, usually what I did was just hide in a dark corner, look down, crouch,
and
hope it goes away. And it usually would. That or cheese it, or and that I found just pretty fun to do.
It's also got the water monster.
The water monster, yeah.
The water monster was pretty intense because that's the first thing you find, and it doesn't. You just see footsteps in the water, like you
Like
just hear the splashing,
pulses, yeah.
and you see where they're stepping, but you don't actually see anything. And that's the first encounter you really
water
have
pulse, yeah.
with an enemy in the game.
Nothing ever comes out at you, so it's just like something's after you. Don't know where it is. You don't know what it is. It's crazy.
We're just thinking. At least I am.
Oh, I'm massaging my neck and shoulders because man, I am tense.
I don't know.
You need to hit me up with your massage place.
Yeah. No problem.
Man, I got neck and shoulder issues.
So, I don't know. Amnesia would be like probably on my top 10 horror games list. Like if I don't sound like I'm praising it enough, I just don't want to get repetitive with the with the praise we're making for all these games.
I mean,
You don't have a lot to say here.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to say either. I'm trying my best, but like I think it is I see why it's a legend, and it's a legend for a reason. You know.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm really getting out of it.
I experienced it the right way with Anza, and we were both fucking terrified. And we were playing it like late at night. Got a lot out of it. Like it made me come back and be like, that's one of my favorite horror games. But like, I have been saying that about like a few other games on this list too. Which I'm just thinking about, like, if you're watching this and you hear me say that multiple times, it's like, oh, are they all your favorite?
Is this whole bracket your top 10?
I didn't say that about Outlast or Slender. Yeah, that's about it.
Which, by the way, I guess to harp back like maybe 20 minutes ago, I would put DDLC in like my top 10. So
that's fair.
That's I guess my mild
I'm gonna
bias.
have to actually like write out a top 10 for me. But
maybe top 5. Who the fucking knows?
Back on the topic, this game just it does Outlast better than Outlast. Like, and Outlast came later.
Yeah.
It's like it accomplishes it.
Is a reason why like most horror games now, or even like Outlast, they take inspiration from this.
Yeah, indie game. This did fucking everything for indie horror.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It fucking just revolutionized everything about it.
And it's not like the case where they made something better after, and like it's not like the impact it had was greater than the game itself, because there are some things like that.
Right.
It's like this game is worthy of the impact that it had. Like it makes sense if you play it.
Right.
But this game is as big as its legacy, I think.
Yeah, and there's a whole reason for like I said, it's legacy. I was gonna say legend. What the fuck? Oh, my brain's turning into eggs. But like, yeah, it revolutionized horror, survival horror. But you know what other game also did that?
All right, hang on. No. I know what you're going for. I was seeing if there were any final thoughts. Final thoughts. The story of the game is good. Like it's not the best. It's definitely not bad. It's worth paying attention to. I'll say that. There's some cool.
A lot of mystery behind it.
There's some cool stuff in it. There's with the torture rooms and stuff, which I guess you haven't gotten to that point in the game.
No,
but yeah,
I don't think so. At least
the story is worth paying attention to. Like I'd say I enjoyed it more than Outlast as far as the story goes. And the horror
Right.
overall. Like if those two got pinned against each other. Oh shit, they might. Anyway, now we can transition. Unless you had any final thoughts.
No, that was it. That was me trying to transition.
Okay, Resident Evil.
Transition. Resident Evil remake. Resident Evil 1, the original.
Yes, but the remake.
I wish there was a bigger.
the remade
Yeah.
version.
I wish there was a bigger name for it, like
Resident Evil.
There you go. There's a reason why the guy did that. He was like, "That's it." It was like you got all this like Resident Evil like codes and other numbers and shit. What the fuck is Resident Evil? the original Nightmare. I don't fucking know.
Okay, we're only talking about the remake, I guess. Because if you're talking about the original Resident Evil as it is, like, the original Resident Evil really fucking kicked off everything, including Silent Hill.
Yeah, and people get their nuts up in their bunch, being like, "Oh, the original Resident Evil, like on PS1, was like the definitive way to play it." Like they get all up in their meta.
Oh
yeah, and it's like, it's honestly like they even joke now, being like, original Resident Evil is the last good Resident Evil game to come out.
Like if you play the remake and you're not using tank controls, then you're not really playing Resident Evil.
If you're not playing as Chris and you don't actually have a DualShock controller shoved up your ass that'll vibrate every time you see a zombie to actually scare you, you're not playing it the right way. No, but seriously, like
I did play the original on PS1 and I prefer the remake.
I after seeing the remake, I want to play it on my own. Like I feel like
we did play it.
Like the clunky, like it not being a clunky piece of shit is making me want to play it, which is pretty much the same thing with RE2. I would not play RE2 the original.
I played for like 5 minutes. I couldn't get into that, but I did play the original PS1 Resident Evil 1. So
because they're not
make of that what you
different.
Will.
I mean, you get that fucking those Capcom sounds in the menu where go bloop bloop bloop.
Yeah,
which is like, oh, is this horror or is this fucking Pac-Man? Like,
but we're okay. On topic, the remake, the one that we are talking about, the one that we played last year. The one me and Pon did on the channel.
Oh yeah, you guys did
for this October. They kept the fixed camera angles, and the tank controls are available if you want to.
They kept the same layout too, of like everything. They didn't really like.
They added.
Okay.
They added, but they mostly kept. They stayed true. They legitimately made it better. And how many remakes can you say are better than the original? Because this one is like absolutely better than the original.
Yeah, and like I didn't know anything about it like until really we're just like, Resi 1, it's supposed to be hard and scary. Fuck it, let's just see. Like let's just take a look at it, and we really like stayed committed to it. Didn't really ever use a guide, or like we only did if we had to and we're stuck for like ever.
No, and the puzzles are probably the best of the whole Resident Evil series.
Well, because they're really tough.
Well,
like it's not like here's a door with the fucking spade symbol on it. Oh, a spade key. What a coincidence.
I'm gonna interject and say like it's really tough if you've never played a Resident Evil game like the original ones, because what we struggled with a lot when me and you first picked up the game is knowing that you have to examine everything.
Right.
But once you know that, it is like everything does become a lot more common sense.
But honestly, like when I think about the start to RE1, if I'm like, okay, here we go, like fucking cutscene plays, we're in the main thing. I couldn't tell you what the first thing to do is or what the first puzzle is.
Oh, it just drops you in.
No, like I can't even like for the life of me like what is the first lead that you find in that game. With RE2, no problem. I have no problem getting to that first part of the police station.
Oh, in the remake, yeah.
Yeah, the remake. No problem with that. Like I could tell you that off the top of my head, but RE1, I'm like, I don't fucking
There's
know.
no
To be fair, though, I've only played it once.
There's no particular order. There are some things you have to do in order, but for the most part, you can kind of. There are things that need to get done because you need to get the 4 masks at the beginning of the game, and you can kind of do that in your own order. So there's some freedom, but also like every time. I remember playing for the first time, and every time I like went to a door and it opened, I wasn't like, yay! I was like, oh,
Oh yeah, like even the door animations I thought would be annoying because like I have to wait I can barely wait 3 seconds for a game to open. Like I can't be bothered. I can't wait 5 seconds for my computer to start up. I thought I was gonna like lose my mind when I had to see like each door animate. But honestly, it
was
just
cool.
added to the tenseness of the situation.
but
And it was cool seeing like the different models too. Like, oh, it's literally the door that is right in front of us.
but I had the opposite problem that you had with Outlast because I started wanting doors to be locked
And just not
because like there was so much that you have, like you really end up knowing you end up knowing that mansion. Maybe
Oh, yeah.
maybe you don't like, but I still know it.
Oh yeah, because I wasn't like at the helm
Mm-hmm.
the
At
majority
that
of the
point.
time. Yeah, like we were trading off every so often. We were kind of making it like a bit more of a team effort.
Mm-hmm.
To like figure things out. And like even when you were playing, I was sitting there tense for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know what it kind of
'Cause-
like this game kind of catches lightning in a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
And like I guess that's the best way I can describe it because in the police station, like I feel a bit tense, but not like in the case of RE1 where it's like we've been playing for like an hour, you better not fucking die.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the ink ribbons and shit. And like
Which were in the original Resident Evil 2, just because,
yeah,
you know, if someone watched this, they would mention.
it's still in the remake.
You were talking about the
too.
remake, yeah.
Well, remake 2 also. It's there
Mhm.
too, but still. But we fucking just use them like every 2 seconds. So they became pretty damn sparse. And like literally one zombie on screen was like, "Oh shit." And then like later on when they become crimson heads,
Yeah.
like Jesus fucking Christ. Like
Dude,
it's such like a tense that you have to like really you have to really like think like should I like kill a zombie and risk him coming back as a crimson head or waste some gasoline and like make sure that this area stays safe.
yeah, when Bond and I did it, I killed almost no zombies in like the whole game. I didn't want to deal with any Crimson Heads.
That's the way I would honestly do it as well.
And if I did, I had the gasoline ready. And like that's the first time we played, we didn't realize. So it was like, yeah, of course
yeah.
we'll kill the zombies because then they'll
killing
be
every zombies.
then it'll be safe for the rest of the game. But you make it
and
harder.
then they fucking come back and then they actually run after you and we're like, oh, what the fuck?
And they're way stronger and way harder to kill.
And then the hunters.
Yeah, every enemy in the game like fucking pose a threat. The dogs,
Literally-
the hunters,
Literally when we come back and like we dealt with the crimson heads and then we dealt with like all things that we thought were like terrifying already. We come back and then we get introduced by the hunter from like we're walking and like the exact path that we just took, we see a first person like camera angle of it just fucking hauling ass right all the way up to the door we just closed right behind us. Like fucking think about it. That thing is terrifying. You don't know what the fuck it is and it's just running after you. That the fastest thing in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe the reveal is just a bit because all I remember about the hunters is them looking like a big frog with like claws and shit.
Yeah,
They're
and
like lizard boys, but still, just think about that. Like, think about that was done in a movie where it's just like, okay, like the big like scary thing is done. We're out of the hotel, cool. And then they're walking back to their car, and then something new out of their perspective is chasing the fuck after you. Well, actually, never mind. Evil Dead did that.
And
Evil Dead did exactly that.
and probably the most like creepy and like heartbreaking aspect of the game was added in the remake, and that's Lisa Trevor.
Oh, right. Now, kind of near the end.
You find her relatively like on the earlier half at first because you go to the cabin
Uh-huh.
and you see her there, but yeah, like more will happen with her throughout the game, and ultimately, like yeah, towards the end, I know what you're talking about, but they completely added her for the remake.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, she wasn't in the original, and she's got a story. Like, you learn about what happened with her and her family.
Yeah, and that's cool that it just actually, like, humanizes zombies, which I think is what actually should make them scary. As opposed to, like, I guess we're kind of getting a little off topic, but now zombies are just kind of like fucking bloodthirsty machines that just will, like, do anything to get, like, just eat people and just demolish, like, civilization. But honestly, it's just like they're just corpses. Like, they're just rotting bodies, you know? Like,
Infected
that was
by
once a person.
infected by the T virus. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like,
In the
I'm talking
case-
about zombies, like, in general in media now.
Oh no, yeah, I'm talking in the case of
But in the case of the game, too, like, it does it, like, justice enough, I think. Like, when you get the first reveal of the zombie, that's iconic. Still to this day, also.
Mhm. And then
Like, that first turnaround with, like, the side eye that it gives you.
so I think the game, like Amnesia, is very intense and like in a different way.
It's very tense, like, all the way through.
In a different way. And this is like kind of important. This is kind of important when it comes to what's like scarier, because Resident Evil is intense in that you don't want to fuck up and have to restart from wherever you last saved, and like that will make you panic when anything's going on. And in Amnesia, it's intense and you will panic, but you're not thinking about like if you die, you're not gonna get set back too far. You're just scared.
Yeah.
Um, so it's a different kind of rush, and in Resident Evil, it's like a stressful rush, and in Amnesia, it's like actual fear.
Well, I think they both, like, you need to survive. Just, I think Resident Evil kind of puts you more in, like, the front seat as the driver. Like, you have
Sure,
more
but
things readily at your disposal to, like, get out of there, I guess.
Sure, but you're more worried about. It's like a different kind of tension where, and I felt it when I got my S plus rank on Resident Evil 2 remake, because you can only save 3 times in the game. When you get in any encounter where you could possibly die, your heart just starts racing because like you might be sent back like an hour and a half.
Dude, I get that feeling.
And that's not like, and like if you get set back, you feel more annoyed than like, oh, that was intense. At least for me. And I think this is like what Gerard the completionist said as well when he did either the first or second game. It's like it's a different kind of intensity that I don't think can be attributed to fear.
I guess I have to agree there. Because like that was like where a good amount of that tension was.
Mm-hmm. When me and
Well,
you were
also-
playing, it was definitely a chore. I remember you didn't want to play, and it was because we could get set back. We reached a point
Yeah.
where we didn't have any ink ribbons because the game starts off by giving you like an abundance, and then
Right.
eventually you don't find any more for a long time. And for a while there, we were just living on one life, and like it was anxiety inducing, but not in like you weren't scared that something would be in the next room because it would scare you, but because you really didn't want to have to deal with getting set back.
Right. Yeah. And also, I remember the first time you booted up the game, and you played as Jill, and you looked in your inventory and you saw 6 slots, and you were like, what the fuck?
No, Jill's got 8 slots.
It was 8. Okay.
Chris has 6 slots.
I thought Jill had 6 and Chris had 4. So
No,
I
and
guess it makes
they
it better.
don't unlock more slots, and so that's where the inventory management comes in, which is a staple of Resident Evil. But
man, is it rough in the first game?
it's definitely also linked with like tedium. So those are things that I guess work against it for me.
It's quite a bit, surprisingly.
The first one isn't my favorite Resident Evil game, but it is up there for me. That's why, it made this
It
list.
does so much for the series. Like it literally like sets it the fuck up.
Yeah, that's like those are the staples of Resident Evil that I'm pointing out and saying these are the drawbacks, and I'm aware of that. But I'm making the claim anyway.
Really only present in like the difficulty in the first game.
Yeah, and the actual puzzles themselves on reflection are not like hard puzzles, but they are more engaging than any other Resident Evil puzzles.
Yeah, because they're actually pretty tough.
Well, they were tough for us because we didn't know.
Well, that's all I remember is that they were tougher than
We didn't know
normal.
to examine things when we first sat down to play Resident Evil 1.
Yeah.
And then we played with Mo, and he started examining everything. And we were like, oh.
Oh.
And from there on out, like the actual, like, when the game presents you with a puzzle that's not just, like, examine the item you picked up, then it's usually not actually, it doesn't require too much thinking. But it does require more thinking than any other entry in the series, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they're Silent Hill level puzzles.
Oh yeah, those got tough, but we'll leave that for
that, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so let's make a decision here. We're
Yeah,
gonna
I
need
think you said all you really need to say, probably.
Yeah.
With RE1. As have I.
which is ultimately the better horror game here?
No, that's a loaded question. Between out of these two, I feel like we're gonna get like fucking crucified no matter which we try and say.
No, I feel like there's like a right answer here, but after talking about both of them, I'm just gonna say like I'm feeling Amnesia. I'm guessing you're feeling Remake.
As a better horror game,
Yeah.
probably Remake, as I'm probably more inclined to like go and play that. Like if you tell me like those are the only 2 games I have installed on my system right now, I'd probably go boot up Remake and like start to get into that.
Well, I'll give it to you. We'll go with Remake.
All right.
I'm feeling.
Honestly, like I could have been persuaded as well. If you were to ask me which is like scarier on its own, though, on its own merit of like which is better at horror, I'd probably say Amnesia.
I think that, yeah. But I do think they're both great games.
But I'd probably just be more inclined to play Resident Evil 1 than I would play Amnesia.
All things considered, like I can't argue that remake. Like I can't argue that it doesn't deserve the spot. Like so I'm fine handing that one over. But I think if I'm just honest with myself, like Amnesia would place higher for me on my personal list. But yeah, we'll go with remake because I can't fight it too much.
I mean, the thing, I just don't want to like
It's a
sound
great game.
ultimately too biased, but it's kind of hard not to. It's just Amnesia, in the short amount of time I had with it, just didn't like grip or affect me like that all that much.
That's fair.
That's all it really. That's all it's really got going against it.
All right.
There's that.
Now, we've
Now,
got
what's the last two that we got here? I feel like if I had a better memory, process of elimination would like
okay.
let me know.
Well,
but the only thing I remember is Silent Hill as against something.
This should be the shortest matchup, which is good because this is a long episode, but that's all right because it is our intro episode.
This is
So
one
it's like
episode?
a celebration. Hell yeah.
Jesus Christ! How I there's no one that's gone this far unless they just know horror games. And
This is what podcasts are for.
That's fair, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, next time you're thinking about like, oh, I want to get all like opinions and shit on horror games when you're like driving back to LA or something.
Yeah.
Smack this.
I'll put our own podcast on.
I did I slapped my knee with my finger. Yeah, I just did it again. Like where you like as a when the doctors hit the hammer, it's like it just triggers your foot to go
reflex.
You kick it. Yeah, I just did that.
Cool.
I remember I did that a bunch as a kid because I was just like,
All right.
so anyhow,
I think this should be kind of quick. I could just answer this one for you, and I'm sure you could. Like at a snap of the fingers, but we'll go into a bit of depth on both games here anyway. For Silent Hill, we can save some depth for later, but it is Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh, that
versus Silent Hill.
Oh, well.
So let's start out.
You know what? That's fine. Like, you're a big kid paired with a little kid in a sparring match. You got to be fair. Have one hand behind your back. Just play with it.
Okay.
Like let's talk about it still.
No, that's what I'm saying. Let's talk about Five Nights at Freddy's first, because that's above Silent Hill. So, Five Nights at Freddy's. What can be said about Five Nights at Freddy's? When it came out,
yeah.
When it came out, it was effective. It was effective when it first came out. The first game.
I would. Now, this is the game I would say.
It was very original, also.
This is the game I would say it's a product of its time.
It is.
It is original. Like, don't get me... Like,
it was original when it came out, yeah.
Yeah, and now it feels like it's not, but only because of how, like, much it's going into its own franchise and, like, expanding it and, like, taking, like, all of the fuck it, like, this is an idea of an animatronic, but now it's like, nope, this is canon. It's like there's like 40 or now something ridiculous.
Yeah, and there's so many copycat games out there too.
Right, yeah. They're just doing the same thing. But meanwhile, the first one, which is the one we're talking about here.
Yeah.
When this came out, 2014, right?
Yes.
I think we all were there when it was like when it was going up, on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
People, and I feel it's a phenomenon, honestly, because there was like, I feel like the majority were like, it was ratting big, like it was horror, it was like scary, like jump scare, and then like there are some people just on YouTube, the brave souls, who are just like, all right, it's another jump scare, like this isn't that bad.
Yeah, and here's the thing with FNAF that I have to say, like, to this day, I won't play it.
Part of me feels like people on YouTube though were overreacting to it. They're like overhyping it.
Did you catch what I just said? I still won't play this game.
No, yeah, I know. I know. I think you've said that to me before.
Yeah, I would play Slender, which isn't what we're
Right.
comparing it to, but jump scares
That's interesting.
work. They're bullshit, but they work.
I would probably play this one sooner than I would Slender by myself at night. But it's weird.
Yeah,
But
I
definitely,
can't say that.
definitely at the time, if I let myself kind of get into it more, when I think about like, if you look up Chuck E. Cheese animatronics from the 80s, those things are fucking horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Just looking at them. And like personally, I'm surprised I went this long without saying this. I have a fear of mannequins.
Yeah.
They're personal, actual, like, I can't go near one or like walk past it without like wincing or like walking further away from it. That thing actually fucking moves, like, in FNAF.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I like had some nightmares or something about it, I was a bit younger, but like, yeah, it's a product of its time. Really, is what I'm getting at.
I think as a horror game, it fails.
Interesting. Well, why do you say that?
I won't
Explain
play it.
yourself.
I won't play it because jump scares get me, but they're not scary.
Yeah, agree.
Jump
scares
scares
are the cheapest form of like
jump scares are
horror.
cheap. And the atmosphere was pretty well done. I have to give it that. The cameras it's cool. It's creepy seeing them creep towards you.
Yeah.
Once the game like shows you all it has to offer, it's like, oh,
That's just okay, cool, that's it. And then you're done pretty much.
yeah. And
Like-
I don't like to be jump scared, so of course I'm not gonna.
Well, yeah, like if it's a person who's completely blind somehow to the series and franchise, and like you put them into this game and like they're going through it, like stuff like listening to the phone guy's conversation
Mm-hmm.
and like how more and more like fucked up that gets each night.
Yeah.
And like taking, it literally, like the name literally, it's Five Nights at Freddy's,
Yeah.
That's why I'm honestly, I was like, okay, there's a second one, sure. And then by 3, I was just like, we're kind of like losing track here. We're kind of losing focus of what the franchise was kind of going for.
And you don't like 4, but I and many others think it is the most scary entry.
I think honestly, by then I might have been just a bit burnt out from
Okay,
like
well
the
that
series.
makes sense. You got 4 games in a year.
Yeah, and like, I'm open to like being swayed there. Honestly,
Well,
I'm talking about
it's-
just the design and the animatronics. I'm like, big teeth. Wow.
Well, no, I think it's because you're in the bedroom at night with the flashlight, like,
yeah, and you have to
you have to go up to the door. You have to listen and
Yep.
stuff.
and it
and
forces
we
you
won't-
to listen.
We won't go into that
Yeah.
because that's the 4th one.
Yeah.
Just wanted to sum
going to
that
the
up
first one.
quickly.
Like, could you imagine if one used more audio, things like that? Because like sometimes you use the light to basically see if an animatronic around the corner, and then you have to like fucking react quick enough to close the door, and like sometimes like other people have said it's obvious when you're done for,
Mhm.
because you can't close the door.
it's I
And then
guess
so literally all by then, once you're like immune to the jump scares of the game, which is like after you see each animatronic like once or twice, it's like, oh, door doesn't close, okay, then you just pull up the cameras and put them back down just so you can get it done and over with.
I think it's simple but effective for what it is. But I think it ultimately does fail at actually being a horror experience. Like
But weirdly enough,
this game on the same level as Resident Evil Remake becomes just about stress
yeah,
and getting patterns down. That's not related to
Yeah.
Resident Evil anymore,
But-
but it's it becomes the jump scares aren't scary anymore when you go on like 2020 mode.
Yeah.
It's just completely about
It's just pattern, yeah.
yeah, and I can't say I've never played this, but again, I watched Gerard's video on it, and from his word alone, it's like completely it feels completely random and not skill based when you do beat it.
Yeah, sometimes because when like if your power goes out too soon and like you're close to 6 a.m.,
You can't
Freddy
control
will
how
just be there and just like singing his song, just like
you
have
can't
fun, buddy.
you can't control how often something's at your door, so you're forced to keep them locked, and then you'll run out of power or something to that extent. Like, you it's luck based in that you'll get a night where you won't be that fucked.
Right.
Yeah.
But one thing I will say that I do want to touch on just for a bit.
Okay.
Five Nights at Freddy's in VR.
Yeah. Scared the shit out of you.
Fucking horrifying.
I would never try that.
Actually, 100% horrifying. And I didn't find the first game really all that scary. Guess again, when it came out, I was just like, "Oh, that's a bit eerie." Like also even the game over like screen when you just see like the skeleton.
Yeah.
And just the way Freddy looks on the poster when it's just like a lot of black around his eyes. It just looks kind of sinister.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all. That's it. That's all I had. The jump scare was just done. That's it. In VR, when it actually puts you in that office, I was a scared little fucking kid because like first of all, it really like it's claustrophobic because you have to be close enough to like just reach out, like you spread out both your arms and you like T-pose and you be touching both the doors.
Like
You're in a closet.
I
And
don't know what this says about it, but like I think we both agree that is a much more effective horror game.
Oh yeah, like in VR, that's
Even though it essentially uses the same
100
tactic.
yeah, way scarier because actually like they actually walk around and they're fucking 7-8 feet tall or something, and you're in this tiny claustrophobic room all defenseless, and you actually have to lean forward towards the animatronics to close the fucking door
There's something a lot more actually scary about that. But
because you actually feel like you're putting yourself out there into the danger, and there's no way to hide.
you still do
Like
get
even in the jump scare, every time there's
Yeah.
a jump scare, I had to pull off the fucking headset.
I'm saying you still do end it with the jump scare.
Yeah, but it's right in your face, and there's nothing you can do. And I'm just like, nope. Like literally, they're so close to you, like it's basically like they're eating at your face.
Again, we're talking just about the original here, but
Yeah, so like VR, double thumbs up in terms of scary. I'm never ever gonna play it again. Like, not my life dependent on it. Not if you pay me like for the rest of my life. Not gonna fucking do it. I'm not subjecting myself to that again. I'll actually shit my pants. Especially if you put 3. I never want to see Springtrap crawl at me in the vent in VR. Like, no thanks. I would have a heart attack and just die on the spot.
So, closing thoughts on FNAF. This was another game like Slender that I got all my friends to play, and I'm like I recorded them each playing until they got jump scared and like made a little compilation at the time. Like, yeah, it was another Slender sort of.
But just
For
doesn't
me.
work as well because it's not as scary. It's got like it's basically
It's more shocking.
it's a one-trick pony,
Yes.
and it keeps doing it. It's over, and I'm like, okay. And people ate it up when it first came out, and it got so much traction. There's like a cult following on it essentially, that's giving it traction to this day. It's not bad. It's like it cemented itself into the horror genre.
It's important whether you like it or not.
to the point where it's honestly kind of redefining
But-
what horror is now, which is a bit like what?
But it has made people realize that jump scares aren't scary. Like I've heard that conversation more than ever since FNAF came out.
Which is a good thing.
It
So-
it has its place.
So it
Yeah,
has
we'll
its
leave it there.
potential with 4 and VR, but we're talking about the first one that caught fire, and yeah,
We'll leave
that's really it.
we'll leave it there. Silent Hill.
Silent Hill, on the other hand,
Silent Hill we recently played on the channel. The original Silent Hill. And it quickly fucking found its place in my heart. Like that series is one of my favorite that we've ever done.
honestly, same here, and like, it's not like any other horror game that I probably will ever experience.
No, and the closest thing would
And-
be the original Resident Evils. But it's not
Yeah.
the same.
But like, it's not.
Your
It-
inventory isn't limited. The cameras aren't fixed. They kind of like go back and forth between being fixed.
At least I never really felt. I know you did, but I never really felt stressed playing it.
I didn't feel too stressed. Like there were a couple spots,
You
but
felt-
generally it felt like you were moving
You
forward all
felt
the time.
uneasy in the Rust world.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. You mean like no, I was scared.
Yeah, you're scared. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I was never stressed playing the game either, and it's interesting. Like, and I don't think I was really ever scared though either. Honestly, you were scared because you were like you were driving. You're the one driving for this game,
yeah.
and every time we got to the Rust world, it was like, oh no, here we go. Even like when you ended up getting into like a big open room and you hear one like scraping noise or something.
Yeah.
You didn't want like it actually put you on edge in that sense.
If you ask me, it actually does horror really well. And like Amnesia, like I mentioned, like it's also subtle enough to like something scary doesn't always happen.
But I think, yeah, I think
But it always
also,
feels like you should be aware.
the way I can best summarize it, I think, is just it's a beautifully somber game. That's what I remember it as, because it's just I completely got what it was like throwing down
I agree.
with it being like a purgatory, and like, you know, spoiler, it's like not a real place. He's just kind of going. Our protagonist is going through hell and back so he can find his daughter, and it's the same thing with 2. He's going through hell and back so he can find out what he did to his wife, and I hear that 3 is the same way in that sense. So I get that symbolism, and like, I don't know. What I remember is that it does really well in like it does psychological horror well, and it doesn't like fuck with you
Its
really.
story is very commendable as well, because even if your like closest like line you can draw to another series at the time is Resident Evil, then like Silent Hill totally outdid them with story, if you ask me. I think if you ask
Yeah.
most people, but who knows.
I would agree, because like Resident Evil stories are just it's kind of it's archaic is the right word, or it's an archetype.
Whatever. I don't know what you're trying to say.
It just it does itself. It's the same thing over and over again. It's
Yeah.
just you don't play it for the story, because it's
No,
like,
yeah, you don't.
it's like, oh wow, like we're in a big spooky place. That part's cool, but then it's like bioweapon, new virus that's named after a letter in the alphabet, self-destruction sequence, underground lab, mines. The end.
In my opinion, Silent Hill set itself apart nicely and made a name for itself. It didn't feel like a ripoff.
Yeah, it was more or less like it didn't make you scared because what was happening on screen or what was going to happen to you, or that you didn't feel in danger. It made you scared because of like because of psychological reasons.
It was actually tense. But like, I don't in a way you were scared because like we like almost never died in the game. Like
oh yeah,
we weren't worried about that. Um, we were actually. I mean, I was actually like, I would approach many new areas with some trepidation. Like I didn't know
Right.
what was gonna happen, and it was unsettling.
Right. I think it's just a bit tough for me to like explain what I found scary about this game or like notable. Also, because it's probably getting a bit late. But I think what I'm trying to say is it's scary because you see and you feel that our character is in a purgatory, and how like how horrifying that can be, but it's all like within his mind, like psychologically. And the part that is scary is that you could be in that purgatorial state in your own personal hell
Mm-hmm.
for like your own um reality based off of causation or whatever.
So for me, it's like the original Resident Evil without the stress. There's no. I never felt threatened that I was going to die on the normal difficulty. The inventory is not limited. You have as much space as you need, and like, it proves that you don't need that to feel scared and panicked. And it crafts like something unique, in its story. I think, especially at the time.
It very unique, yeah. Like there's so much here if you just like look into it and kind of study up on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I guess if you were telling me to write an essay about a game, I'd pick this one.
Really?
Believe it or not. Like, well, I guess maybe some other ones would come to mind, but this one there's a there's a lot here.
Out of this list.
Out of this list, this would probably be number 2.
Oh, DDLC.
DDLC would probably be another one, but that's a little more like
I get what you're saying.
that's a little more on its own thing. Like I have to write it about it. Meanwhile, like with Silent Hill, I can relate it and broaden the whole spectrum of what it's trying to say. There's a lot going for it, and it's great that I took in or that you're able to take in the whole package. That scared the shit out of me.
And it was just
My fucking phone just lit up, and I looked down, and I'm on edge. I'm talking about horror all fucking night.
and I don't know, we just really, this game was a blast for us to play. Like we really
yeah.
took to it for one reason or another. When we were doing our series, whenever we weren't playing it, we were like, "Hey, you want to play more Silent Hill?" Like we blasted through it
Oh yeah,
because we just wanted to keep playing.
I still want to play like the rest of the series because apparently 3 is really good.
I want to play 3 and 4 as well.
So maybe you will end up getting on that.
Yeah. But
honestly, like even with 2, we weren't like super wild about it at the end, but it's pretty similar to 1 in the same kind of feeling that you get from it.
yeah,
Silent Hill is like it's a concept,
yeah.
really.
Even though me and you both think 1 is better than 2, and that's like our hot take. I still think they're both great games, and I'm looking forward to 3 and 4.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's probably a lot we didn't touch on. I think we're getting tired, but also, I don't think we have to question the winner.
We'll probably talk. We're gonna talk about Silent Hill again.
Yeah,
at some
we're
point
gonna
or
talk
another.
about everything again. My vote's Silent Hill.
Silent Hill.
Okay.
Like you have no objections from me.
Okay. So, looking at what these next.
Looks like that'll do it for the night. We'll quickly run down, I guess, what's going to be happening in the next episode.
Really? Okay.
If you want to just like say what's up against what.
So for the losers bracket, in the episode that will hopefully be airing on Halloween, for the losers bracket, we're going to have Slender versus Amnesia. That's fitting.
Is it fitting? How's that fitting? Same like time era or
Yeah.
like okay. I was like those two aren't very similar. No.
We're going to have Resident Evil 7 versus Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh Lord.
And for the winners bracket, we're going to have Outlast versus Remake,
Outlast versus Resident Evil 1 remake.
and maybe the one that I'm looking forward to the most now, and
Doki
dreading the most, Doki Doki.
versus Silent Hill.
Yes.
That's the show match, I guess. That's tough.
That's what it's looking like.
But
then we'll have to see what wins the, you know how this goes.
I might spend the next 2 weeks writing up a paper.
You know,
to be ready for DDLC versus Silent Hill.
so
You know what? I'm going to fucking do that. Meanwhile, we get some legends against some not so legends.
yeah.
Hey,
I'm legend.
Hey, I'm not so legend. Hey, I'm not so great. Hey, I'm great.
Hey, I'm great. Oh, fuck.
I guess there you go. They'll picked our brains for a good amount. I guess the next episodes won't be nearly as long.
No, we had to introduce everything.
Yeah, but still had fun with this.
Yeah, this was good. And we'll get into the finals in the next one, and we'll decide our best horror game of this list.
The Game Shed labeled horror game? Game of the year. We'll put a sticker on it or some shit.
Well, sure.
All right. Till next time.
Yeah, thanks for joining us on our first podcast. And here's to however many more.
Here's to a new thing that we're doing.
Yeah.
So see you later, you motherfuckers.
Let's blow out this candle.